You, hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you tired of the same old podcasts with the same old panels and the same old rhetoric? So am I. So come spend time with me, where you can have a laugh, be entertained, and learn something. I'm your host, Nova, and welcome to School of Thought. Class is in session. Welcome to School of Thought. I'm your host, NovaStar, and we got something fun. We got something new. Let's get going. Welcoming everybody into the chat. Once you get in here, thank you to all of the mods and everybody for helping me today. My guest is absolutely fantastic. Fun today, me and her, and hopefully it translates over to you in the audience. Girl talk, yes. Relationships, a little bit of sex talk, what went wrong, and moreover, the nightmare in the dating market for single women today. And this one special lady's journey back into that social hell. We're reintroducing this gorgeous lady who is my best friend, CoCo. Some of you may have remembered her from before. She's been associated with life coaches and influencers in the space. And today we are welcoming her back into YouTube land. Yes, we are. For the audience who may not be as familiar with CoCo, she has been in the space for quite a while and has taken some personal time off, but getting back into the saddle. She has been on Access Hollywood, going toe-to-toe with Zerka, that dork, and many more. CoCo, who is a great person and a professional lady, has been a professional ballerina, actress, and a fitness model. Her new relaunch of her channel is currently underway and in the works, so stay tuned. Merch will be also available of the sexy, lovely women, gentlemen. Oh yes, calendars, posters, and more galore. So stay tuned. We'll have that information for you in the very near future. She's not just a knockout. She is sharp. She is grounded and genuinely kind. Looks, brains, and a soul, the triple threat, boys. Consider this your official notice. Yes, So today we're welcoming CoCo back with warmth. Hey, you.
Hi.
Hi. And laughs, honesty, and very loud, but about damn time, baby. Welcome back, my friend.
Hi.
You are looking good. You're looking sharp, and you are in damn good shape.
Thank you, my dear. I work really hard, as you know.
Yeah, I know you do. You go every stinking day. You're like the old me, but now I'm like comfortable.
Well, I have a show, as you know, so it's like I got to do what I got to do.
I know. And we want to see you prosper and get those sponsorships, so I know you have to stay on it. You're telling me that you're eating whites and stuff, and I was like, there's nothing that doesn't taste like nothing.
What are you eating for dinner? Like 4 egg whites and a salad.
Oh God, how can you stand it?
I make my own food, so it tastes delicious because I season it well enough. Otherwise, I'd be like, if I had to have just regular bland egg whites, I could not do it.
It kind of makes you want to go bleh. You know what I mean? The consistency. Okay, I have to know what is wrong with one yolk in there. Because I used to do that, but I would throw one yolk in there, like 5 egg whites and then 1 yolk.
It just depends on what your plan is. Like for me, I'm minimizing the healthy fats in my diet because I'm still in my cutting phase for my show. But we find other ways to get me my healthy fats. Like I do have them, though. I have them for breakfast. Yeah. So for breakfast, I have like 5 ounces. I make egg bites, and I have 5 ounces of egg whites with 2 whole eggs in it. Mm-hmm. So I get my fat in the morning.
Are you allowed to have cheese?
No.
No cheese? No dairy?
No dairy.
Do you ever get cravings?
Sometimes, yeah, but it's weird because it is true that if you can cut out sugars and cravings and all that stuff for like 30 days, your body will no longer crave it and it gets less and less. So I tried to have a sweet on like Christmas, and I was like, I took a bite of a cookie and I was like, and I gave it to my niece. I'm like, you can have this. I don't want it.
Was it a store-bought cookie or was it homemade?
No, it was homemade. It was great, but it was just too much for me because I'm not used to eating it. So
you know what I've done that's really bad? You're going to get so mad at me. I gave up soda a million years ago, and I'm drinking soda again because my stomach was always upset when I was around the mold. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm always nauseous. And so now I'm drinking soda again, and I have to cut that out again. There's only one a day, but still one and then sit on your fat ass, you just start getting fatter.
That stuff is hard to
It's
quit.
bad. I know, but at least I do the only cane sugar stuff.
There you go.
You don't do any of that synthetic crap. So can I show a picture of how good you are looking in your cutting phase and stuff? Can I show that picture? The one where you're going like this?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was like, wait, which one are we talking about?
Okay, boys, eat your heart out. Yeah. Look at them guns. We're going to the gun show. Remember Hans and Franz? We're going to pump you up. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. She looking good. Let's see what the boys are saying in the comments. Hold on. I need to get my 4 eyes on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on. All right. Free side is here. Oh, Shane. My buddy Shane. So, yes. So, God, I can't. How do you say your name again, sir? Cyrillus? Something like that. I'm glad you are here. And Bandit is back. Okay, right on. Okay, so everybody, just so you know, as we start talking about this, I will try to dip into the chat, but in order for her and I to keep engaging, if I start reading what you guys are doing, I'm not going to be able to think. So you're going to have to forgive me. I will touch in with you in between. I like to talk to the audience. It helps keep the engagement.
Did you just see what Self-Made made a post?
Why is she thirst trapping with the bed? Well, I mean, I used to have my bed in the background, but I moved into an office little spot in the house now. So trying to make it look more professional. Why? Yeah, let's comment because he's a dirty man. Make no mistake about it. Stop flirting, Self. I know what you're doing. He's flirting, you bad boy. Down, boy, down. Don't make me get the sticks out. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask a couple questions, but mostly we're going to just free flow like we did the other day.
Yeah.
Which is,
I
thought was,
it's organic.
I thought it was great. Yeah. I thought it was great. All right. Do you want to start with some of the struggles of growing up with our girlhood?
Oh my God.
just a few for fun. So like here, the struggles of being a girl, growing up into womanhood. One day you go from being like the little girl, and the next day you wake up and you got some big old pontoons, like right there. I'm looking at your pontoons, mama.
Yeah.
And then, all the shenanigans, like, your mom thinking you were a lesbian for a while, and all
yeah. Yeah.
Give us a little history. Give us a little history of growing up.
So, let's see. So grew up in a very old-fashioned traditional household, which I love, and I value that. I want the same thing. My mom was best mom in the world, in my opinion. But I think a lot of people think that about their moms. Yes. But like everybody that meets my mom ends up calling her mom. Like she just loves kids. Her kids are her world. So she was very overly protective. Like I could not go to church camp without her freaking out.
Really?
Because like the first time we ever went to church camp, she was like, started crying. And we're like, why are you crying? She goes, because there's bears in the woods. And like, what if a bear came and ate you guys? I want us to all get eaten together. And I was like, who says that? Like, I'm going to leave. If it's eating you, I'm sorry. I'm going to take off. But she would like want us all to go together because she doesn't want to be without her kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I always had like little boyfriends growing up. Like everybody thought, like, oh, it's just a little cute boyfriend thing. My question is, would they the bear? No. Sorry.
They're going to want your Instagram. They're saying for, research purposes, wink, 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 wink.
Right. So I had like boyfriends and stuff, but I didn't have like real serious boyfriends. And there was a time when I was like in high school that I wasn't dating anyone. Because normally I would always have like a boyfriend every year. Like if I wasn't dating him anymore, we just broke up. And my mom asked me one day, she's like, CoCo, you haven't had a boyfriend in like over a year. Okay. And She's like, did you turn lesbian? And I was like, so you're gonna ask me or think that I turned lesbian because I decided that I just don't want to date right now. She's like, I'm just making sure it's not like you do not have a boyfriend. I'm like, well, I'm not looking for anyone, and they pursue me, and there's really nobody that has tried to pursue me that I'm actually interested in because all they want is sex. She goes, oh, well, that's totally okay. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, we both have hung on to our V card longer than I would say most, probably. So I was 22 and a half, and you said you were what, 18? 19. See? All girls are not hoes. Thank you very much. Snap, snap.
And I was engaged when I lost it. So.
Oh, see? Even better. I was not engaged. I was like, can I just get this over with? My mom would be like, only men are going to want Virgin Star. That's what she would tell me, CoCo. They only want Virgin Star, and if you give that up, you're not gonna get a man. I was like, you're trying to tell me the only thing that's worth about me is what's between my legs. I said, we got an instantaneous problem. Instantaneous. Yeah. So I just, it was over.
My mom just said nobody likes a floozy.
A hussy.
Yeah. She's like, so don't go sleeping around. Plus she just, she just instilled the fear of getting pregnant with the wrong person, and because my mom got pregnant with my sister, which she was an oopsie, but with my dad, but she was on birth control and a diaphragm, and he had a condom. So apparently she was really meant to have my sister. So my mom's like, I was on every contraceptive and I still got pregnant. So you are most likely very fertile. I'm like,
yeah. I actually, when I got pregnant the first time, I was on the birth control. And your name doesn't go in the book, but they'll list you as another person who's had that anomaly. So I'm listed in the medical studies. Yeah, I'm listed in the medical studies. Yeah. That pregnancy almost killed me though. Literally. Wow. Yeah, the baby's very sick and it was taxing me and I almost died. So, dang. And then came the second one, and then two other pregnancies back to back. I breastfed for 2 years and they still look pretty good.
Yes, they do.
Not bad. I know if I take the bra off, they still stand out. So, Bandit wants to know, would she pick the bear or the man?
Who wants to be with a bear? They're aggressive.
I know. I don't think CoCo knows that there's been a meme going around that stupid women will pick the bear over having the man.
Yeah, I've heard stuff about that. I'm never on social media ever, so I don't only when it gets closer to a show, then I'll post things about my progress to try to get sponsors, but I steer clear of social media as much as possible. I have it. But
I wish I could steer clear more of it, but if we're going to do a podcast, there's no way to avoid it anymore. You know what I mean?
No, that part's true.
Yeah.
I've been off for years. This, I would go on, I would post something after and be like, oh, hey, look it out to go and promote it. But that's about the extent of my activities on social media.
Same.
Only when it's necessary.
Yeah. I'm just trying to promote because I could care less. I'm not trying to pick up dudes. Don't care. Dudes are trouble. You guys are trouble. You're trouble, and you're tempting. So I'm being a good girl. Being a good girl. Stay off. That's right. All right. So we're talking funny antics about being virgins, and then our mommies, doing everything they can to keep us that way. Mine used to also aid with not giving me the phone calls when they would call to ask me on a date. So, they'd be like, hey, Star, I called you the other day. And I was like, you called? They're like, yeah, I called. I was going to ask you if you wanted to go out. And I'm like, who took the call? I don't know. It sounded like an older lady. I was like, oh shit, my grandmother. So, I didn't officially even go on a date, boys and girls, until I was 18. I officially went on a date. Late bloomer in life. Can you believe that?
I was a junior in high school when I had my first movie date.
Oh, see, mine was a movie date.
Yeah.
Subway and then a movie date. And it was a boy that I met at the roller skating rink. Right, Self-Made? It wasn't the DJ, though. It was just a boy who'd go there and skate all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. He was trouble. So my mom put a stop to that later. But at least he didn't get my V card. So, he wasn't that good looking. He was okay.
Yeah, nobody got mine.
Nobody got mine either till later. So, so the next question. Now that we have you established that you come from a traditional family with traditional values and you have morals, right? And you're a Christian lady, right? Carrying that over into the dating pool, how do you think that has been?
Hard.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I've never done dating apps. I always told myself like I was never going to do that. Because I just know so many people that have been on it, and they talk about the types of people that they meet, and like people are living double lives. And I was like, I've already lived that. I have lived that before. And it's hard to trust people.
It is.
So, and I feel like a lot of people are just out there like saying that they're looking for love or whatever, but really they're just looking for sex. And they're just
so right.
They're just saying it because they know that that's what you're supposed to say and it looks good on paper.
Yes.
So I tried it because I was realistic with myself, ever since I've been single, it's been a struggle to just try to navigate life like an adult. I mean, yes. I am an adult, but my life used to be so different. So this is like the first time since like 2014 when I was married to the firefighter, that I've had to actually work a full-time job. So, because when we moved up to the state that we were living at the time, it was for him to establish his career. And I was working. I quit school. I was working 3 jobs. I was still food prepping for him and taking care of him when he came home on the weekend. But I was working 3 jobs to put him through academy so we could get there. But the goal was is that he promised is that after he got hired and after probation, then I can go back to school and I could just work part-time. And I was like, loved it. And that was because that's what I like to do. So it's been hard. It's like, how are you really supposed to meet people when you don't go out? Because I don't go to clubs. Like I don't party. I don't hardly ever drink, rarely ever. So I don't drink, I don't party. The only thing that I really do is that I work every day and then I go to the gym and then I come home and take care of my pup. And that literally is my life. So I'm like, how am I supposed to meet anyone? So I thought I'd give it a try. And it was like the most draining thing I have ever experienced in my whole entire life.
It is draining. I agree with you.
It was exhausting. But my good friend that I work with, she's like, no, do it. It's great. I love it. It's always exciting. Da, 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 da. And I texted her. I'm like, how do you find this exciting? This is like the worst thing I have ever experienced in my life. And I just don't. It was awful. I quit after a month and a half. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is stupid. Like, it's been so hard because nobody, especially like where I live, even my pastor has told me, unfortunately, the state that I live in, it's a lot harder to find real, wholesome, traditional valued Christian men. Yes. Because where I live, we are like one of the lowest states that actually have Christian fellowship.
Oh.
So he's like, the odds are kind of against you. And I was like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So I can't even meet someone naturally.
Oh God, you're gonna have to change demographics. That's what that comes down to. That's what it comes to. It's like trying to find a real relationship in LA, and that was a nightmare.
That was an absolute
all the ageism and the just partner swapping, and nobody's serious about jack shit. So it's like yeah, baby, I love you, so I can get into your pants, and then they ghost you afterwards. Yep. Yeah. And it's so funny. The first guy that I was ever in love with was a fireman. His name was Kurt. Actually, his name was William, but he liked his middle name better because it was like his daddy. So he didn't like to be called that. So he liked to be called Curtis. Fag. Anyways, so we both were in ballet and professional dance academy. We both were in love with the Firemen. We were both virgins for a long time. I can't imagine why we get along so well.
I know, right?
I know. So you married your fireman though, right? I wanted to marry my fireman, but he was, a flake. He was flaky. Yeah. Even though he told my mom, he told his dad, told everybody we were getting married. But then at the last minute, poof, pulled the rug.
No, that was me. So like, as I shared with you, like I almost called off the wedding. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was a few weeks or so before, and I almost called it off just because I did not believe him. So my ex-husband is still a good man. Sure. I still have a lot of love for him. I do not hate the guy. We don't talk as often, but every once in a while we'll be like, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Because we grew up together. He was younger than me. I was his big buddy in grade school. So I've known him since he's been in the 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
And it was just one of those things where we weren't even married yet. And we had almost like basically a non-existent sex life. And that bothered me because he knew that I like to be sexually active with my partner.
That's a red flag.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that before. I still think even though they have more testosterone than us, if we have more testosterone, we are more active, right? And then, theirs isn't maybe the match. You know what I mean? So that's always been my problem.
Yeah. Well, he admitted that he lied to me though, because when you're constantly wanting like your spouse or whatever, and they just are not as interested. It's not like they don't want to, but then they have like a hard time. You start to think like women are like, okay, what's wrong with me? What's going on?
I'm not attractive enough.
It was awful. And I would ask him because we had great communication. I've never had communication with anyone like we've had communication. Mm-hmm. And I was like, so is it me? Because like, I feel like I'm pretty freaking awesome. And he goes, no, you are. He goes, it's not you in any way, shape, or form. He goes, it's me. And then he would tell me it's because he's lazy, because he knows that he can get it from me whenever I want, because I'll never say no. So he doesn't really have the desire to initiate often, because he knows whenever he's really feeling it, he can like, I can get it whenever I want. It was that comfortability. Well then, he admits also later on top of it, he was not cheating.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like that shit.
And then later he admits on top of it that he's actually always had a problem.
Oh,
unfortunately, and he's had a problem with that since he was a teenager. And I was like, well, wouldn't this have been important when we started dating and it was serious and we actually engaged in sex and you knew that this was important to me? He goes, well, yes. I should have, but I knew that this was important to you and I didn't want to risk losing you by telling you that I have a problem and that it does occur. And I was like, okay. So that part sucked. So yeah, I mean, he was a great guy, but there was just, had controlling issues. Was he
Latin?
No.
No, okay. So it was a white dude with control issues. There's a lot of those too. Yeah. He had no problem. Like he was frugal, which is nice because he wanted to make sure that we never had to worry about finances. But he had no problem over splurging on things that he felt were important or important to him that he saw value. But anything that was important to me or that I enjoyed, like my competing, he was like, that's stupid. That's a waste of money. But you can go and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars playing pickleball. And I don't like pickleball, but I support you and you travel for it. I always paid for my men. You know what I mean? Like I paid for everything, and so it was hard to control me, although they tried. But the older man who got me, he didn't have a problem getting it up, but he had a problem giving it up. And so he would use it as a control tactic for me, and then try to shame me, and he wasn't even good looking. Like,
Yeah. I don't even know where we were going with that.
Well, we're having a little sex chit chat about relationships and
I feel like there was a point that I was supposed to make, but I really honestly don't remember.
It's okay. We're just talking about dudes who can't get it up.
That's like the story of my life. I've only been with for like 20 years. I was actually only with 2 people, and they were, my ex-husband and then my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I keep getting screwed being with men that have ED.
I'm thinking ED is becoming much more broad issue because one of my exes who was younger than me had a hard time getting it up and or keeping it up. And I used to think it was me.
That's a big one.
Yes, yeah. It couldn't keep it up, could not. And it was really frustrating. And, I'm like, Miss, let's go. I'm going to knock you over and grape you if you don't. I'm going to roll you over, take your pants off. It's mine, baby. Give it up. Yeah. I know you're the same way. I know you are.
I don't get it. It's just like, all they have to do is just be like, hey, you want her? Or they start kissing my neck or something, like, oh, it's going down.
I know.
They're so excited. But it's like, when they don't have also like that drive or whatever. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to not just be like, oh, it's all about the sex, because I have thought that with the last person that I was with recently that about, that unfortunately we are no longer together. My first real boyfriend since
I'm mad at him.
Yeah. My first real boyfriend since being single. It was nice because there were times where I felt like I don't like feeling like it's only because of the sexual part of me, because I'm good in the sheets and they look good. Mm-hmm. I want to know that it's actually genuine love. Like I experienced genuine love with my ex-husband. I do know that man loved me, but he just, apparently it's just like, it's a day late and a dollar short for you to pretend you're going to fix the issues that have been consistent through our entire relationship, even before marriage. Yes, so I can't trust you to not keep breadcrumbing me.
Yep. Bait and switch.
Yes. So it's I don't know. I just don't like feeling like it's just the sexual aspect. So it is nice when they come up behind you and you're cooking and they wrap their arms around you.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
Kiss, or they give you a forehead kiss, or when you walk by, they give you a little butt smack or something, like, "What's up, sexy?"
That's right. If they don't slap my ass, something's wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to lead to that, but it's, but when you have neither of it.
I know. And you're like running around naked or flashing and they're still ignoring you.
Yes.
Or they're playing video games.
And so my ex douche canoe that you know of.
Yes.
I would say that to him because, again, he had issues. And I was like, you don't even like look at me like the way that you used to. And he would give me this stupid crap excuse, which I find stupid. Any man that says this, either he's lying just to keep face or he's just retarded. Because every woman would love to see this. He was like, well, I do look at you. I look at you all the time and I'm raping you with my eyes when you're not looking at me. I'll catch you glimpse when you're walking away. He's like, I just make sure you don't catch me. I'm like, why?
He's lying.
Why? Exactly.
He's feeding you what you
I was
want
like,
to hear.
You're feeding me a line. Just get out of here. Like,
I've heard it. I'm like, oh, really? Then how come we ain't? What's the problem?
Exactly.
And they're like,
so you're doing
I don't know. I'm tired.
Right? Because if you're looking,
I'm playing this game right now, maybe later. Oh, fuck you.
Oh yeah, mine was not about games, but it was just like, but you're looking, and if you look enough, you're telling me this isn't gonna excite you, you're like, okay, now I want some. That doesn't make any sense.
Is it like the old cow theory? You get the cow. There was an old movie. Did you ever see that movie? I can't remember the name of it. It had Ashley Judd in it and Hugh Jackman, and it was about like the cow theory. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? And it's basically how the bull only mates with that one cow one time, and then after they're done with it, they don't want it anymore, and then they move on to the next cow. We should watch that movie sometime. It'd be so much fun.
Is it a chick flick? I don't like watching chick flicks.
It's just a kind of like a romantic comedy. I don't know if it's a chick flick or not. It's just a romantic comedy. It's just an old comedy from the 90s.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. But I don't understand when guys like, you know, I in the dating world, like these men would say that they want that they were in sexless relationships and like sex is very important to me. And I was like, cool.
Lie.
Exactly. But then what I think they don't understand, because I have run into this problem in my relationships, is that I'm very upfront and honest with them, and I tell them like, hey, if you know the deed is good, I have a very high sex drive, so I'm no problem having it all the time. And so, but they say that, oh, I've always wanted a woman with a high sex drive. Like, oh, but you know, you can't outlast me. Like, I'm gonna want it. You're gonna want to quit. Yep. I never tap out. And the funny thing is that they end up telling me that it's too much pressure on them because I want it all the time. It's like, so you bitched about not having enough of it with your previous relationships. I told you if you're with me, be prepared to be exhausted. And now you're complaining about it when you're saying that that's not going to be a problem?
Yep. Mine did the same thing. Yep. And you know, like the older guy... line. Yeah, and the older guy who got a hold of me, he said, you know what we do, Star? And I was like, we, as in us men. He's like, we play the good guy, nice guy routine until we get you, and then the mask comes off. And I was like, oh, gee, I have a real good feeling about this now, don't I? And then he would call me a nympho and try to shame me and shit. Psst, get out of here. Yeah, get out of here with that.
But you're supposed to enjoy that with, you know, your person. Like... But it just doesn't seem like anyone that I have met on the apps, it doesn't seem like we want the same things, and that's hard. And I mean, I did only meet one person. I met one person he is a devoted Christian. And we talked and we did go on a date. We kind of just hung out because I won't do dates. I will hang out and meet you somewhere publicly. And
serial killers. We want to avoid serial killers and chloroform and duct tape. And I agree.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it seems like we had the most in common. You know, we both, you know, wanted someone that is in faith. We would actually really prefer, like, because that's really passionate for us, because we want somebody we can go to church with. We want someone that we can pray with.
Exactly.
And we both wanted to have like a piece of land with a house on it, you know, so we can, you know, kind of grow our own vegetables and stuff. We were in a line as far as he wants to get married, because one of the things that I run into, which we'll talk about later, is that nobody seems to want to get married anymore. And he wanted an at-home life. But you know, he does believe that a woman should at least have a part-time job, so that way she has her own identity outside of the house. And I was like, I get that. He goes, a woman needs to have social interaction. She does need to make friends and have that, because if she's just home with the kids and the husband all the time, she's going to go crazy. And he's like, and I experienced that with my ex-wife, you know? She's like, I don't feel like I have an identity. He goes, and that's important for her. And we had almost everything in common. Now, he wasn't physically what I am attracted to. And I was like, okay, but it's not like anyone I've ever been with was really physically what I've been attracted to.
Yes, same.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, again, my ex-husband was not bad looking. He just physically was like not what I prefer. And then my ex, he was just a fat piece of crap.
Yeah, he was a fatty.
He was a fatty.
Lard.
Yep. Exactly. Not attractive. Not attractive in any way, shape, or form.
He was an overachiever with you. That's what they call it, overachieving. Yeah.
But the recent one, he was good looking. He was good looking.
Yeah, he was.
He was actually more like what I would prefer to be with, because then I just want it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Which is normal. It's
right.
normal, boys. Women want it as much as you do, so you better get your testosterone under control, because if you don't, we're gonna leave you in the dust. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah. But so I was like, well, just because I may not be physically attracted to him, like I've been like that with my others, and I did end up growing to love them because they are a good person and we have things in common. Mm-hmm. Well, he told me that when we were talking about the things that we wanted, he goes, and I need a woman that's actually going to be willing to give me anal several times a week. And I said, bye-bye. Now, granted, we still talk. Yeah. We are actually friends, because we both felt like we didn't have like that spark that we were thinking, but we both were like, well, we want the same things. But he was like, but she's very attractive. I'm like, thank you. I work really hard.
Thank you very much. I try, yes.
Really hard. And so he was thinking about it too, but it's like more, I couldn't, because of that aspect. I was looking at on that aspect. I was like, that's one thing. Like, again, I'm not against doing it. I have, and I can enjoy it, but I am not going to give it to you multiple times a week, because men do not understand what a woman has to go through to endure that, because she is the one receiving and he is the one giving it.
Yeah, they have no idea how it feels on the other side.
Yeah.
And we want to be able, okay, let's tell the gentleman audience, if you do that too much, you have little control back there. Okay. So we want to be able to control and not end up with incontinence. Thank you very much. And to back my absolute authority on this matter, I knew a autograph collector. All right. I'm not going to use his name because they could trace me back. But this guy was total homo. Okay. He was so homo. He tried to convert all the other guys, and he would disappear and do his thing with some other dude all the time behind a dumpster, okay, or in an alleyway in California and Hollywood, all right? And he would come out and he'd be like, oh, I just shit myself. And it was all that he could not control his bowels whatsoever. He had hernias all over the place. So if you think this isn't a real thing, oh no, it's a real thing. Okay.
Again, I don't mind it, because with the right person and doing it right, it actually does feel really good. And I like how my partner used to get really excited, but like physically, it's a lot to go through. It really is, for the prepping and all that other stuff, and making sure that you could actually trust this person to not go over their head, because they kind of sometimes get really excited and go a little crazy, and then they don't realize that you're about to get torn apart.
Yeah.
But it's because they're only thinking about the sensation.
Yeah.
So,
again, themselves, unfortunately.
I don't mind it. I love surprising, but I want to surprise my person with that. But when he had that as a rule, saying that he needs that a couple of times a week, I was like, okay, well, I really hope you find the person that wants to do that, because that's not me.
The receptacle for that.
I will never, ever be with another man who is addicted to anal. I've had it once. I will not do it again, because that guy was a complete a-hole. He was sadistic and an a-hole, and I will not do that again.
Oh, wow. I don't think you want to talk about that, do you? I don't think we ever talked about, do you want to talk about that experience or no? Okay.
No.
Good.
It was very traumatic.
Yeah, let's not go there. Now, I will be taking pointers from you later on this, okay?
Yes.
I'm still like a kind of the V back there, okay? So, well, we'll have a conversation privately about that later on. Anyways, so do you think, in your opinion, do you think most guys who are very fascinated with that are kind of rainbow? Because I'm thinking they're kind of rainbow.
Yep.
Okay. See, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I think that they may have more bisexual tendencies. Now, I could be wrong, but just because I know what it's like actually like receiving it. So I can only imagine what it feels like for them giving it. You know what I mean? Like, as far as the sensation. Yeah. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to take it. If that makes sense.
That's true. They want to just be the giver.
So they want to be the giver. That doesn't mean that they want to be the one taking it. Because I guarantee you, most of the men that are straight that like that, I mean, because I have said this before to the sadistic piece of crap. I was like, well, why don't you let me try doing it to you the way that you do it to me and see how you like it?
Oh, what was the response?
That's not how this works.
Oh, this is a one-way street, is it? It's always a one-way street.
Yeah.
The double standard, damn it.
Yeah. So it's like, be considerate. So I don't think but I will tell you from experience with people, like men that I have known, I have noticed that men that have a fascination with their own back door.
Oh, yes.
Because I have caught people playing with themselves back there.
Yeah.
Definitely bisexual.
Yes, I 100% agree.
I'm not saying that they're gay, but I'm saying that if you have there to a degree, yes, I do not believe that everyone that has a fascination with the back door is gay. But if you also have a fascination of playing with your own, you definitely are bisexual, at least.
I will 100% agree with you on that. Boys in the audience, do you agree with this? I know Self does. School of Thought. What? Did I miss something? I'm my blind ass. I need to put my glasses back on. I can't see everything that's going on. Hold on, everyone.
But, oh my God. Robert Platinum's comment was so freaking funny.
Somebody said, wait, let's read it. Yes. Robert Platinum. Somebody said that if you do choose to do that, you gotta
fought
before you start. Oh, my man. He says
you gotta do more than that. But yeah,
you have to douche out and everything back there. Well, it's not called a douche. What do they call it over there? What is that?
An enema.
Oh, an enema. That's right. Do you do like a coffee enema thing, or does you just use water? What do they use?
Water.
Okay. All right.
Just get warm water. Do it a few times. Face down, ass up. Stick it in. Let it brew for 2 minutes. Go to the toilet. Do it again. Go back and forth until it's clear.
This is not sounding appealing right now.
Then you got to put the lidocaine in there. Let it soak. Yeah. Yeah.
Give attention. Okay. Hold on. I'm having a hard time here. A midget? How tall are you?
Me?
How tall are you? Are you as tall as me?
5'5".
Oh, shit. You're taller than me. Damn. I'm 5'3". What the fuck? How did you get taller than me?
Well, I was really hoping I wasn't going to be my mom's height, and I did outgrow her by 2 inches.
I'm the tallest female. I am the tallest female. Yeah. Isn't that scary? I have an aunt who's technically a midget by the state standard. She's like 5'10".
Wow.
And then April, my biological mom, their daughter, I'm like this much taller than her. So I think everybody's lying about their height over there on that side. They're all like, oh, I'm 5'3". And then Frank, he was like, oh, I'm 5'10". And I was like, and I'm like that much shorter than him. I'm like, something's wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm a shorty. How do you like that? CoCo's taller than me. Yeah, that's why she's got stairs up there, guys, because she's so short she can't get on the bed. Get out of here.
That's right.
That's right. Yes.
For my fur child.
Yes, that's pretty funny. One time I caught an ex, and they bought a butt plug. I hadn't used it yet, and then I caught one of my sexual paraphernalia out, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why is this out?" Yeah, dude. He was playing with it and doing his thing. So you know what I did? I threw it all away.
I caught that too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Mine was right on my nightstand, and they were too drunk. They didn't remember that they'd left it out. So God only knows if they used it before. So I'm so glad I threw that shit. I wish I would have done it sooner.
Yeah. Yeah. At least the last guy that I was with, the recent one, it stinks that it seems like right now in this day and age, it's hard to find. You'll never find anyone that hits all of your check boxes. Okay,
Yes,
I
I agree.
understand. I'm realistic because hell, my last two, like my ex-husband and then my crazy ex, neither one of them checked my boxes. Neither one of them. Especially my crazy ex. That dude was a piece of crap. I blame myself because I should not have stayed with him for as long as I did. Because there was constant just red flag after red flag and constantly me finding everything out. And I was like, what am I doing? But so neither one of them checked all the boxes. But and this guy did check the boxes. He checked a lot of the boxes. He took care of himself and take pride of himself. He is a hard worker. Like, I love that. He is a blue-collared worker. Like, he works so hard and he's constantly trying to and is constantly like bettering himself in that era or in that area for work. He has great values. Like, he was the only person so far that actually treated me like a lady, because I'm not used to that. Neither one of my two exes ever opened doors for me. I'd have to give them, even my parents would give them crap. They'd be like, you don't open the door for your girlfriend or your wife? But you're supposed to open the door for them. Guide them in, whatever. And they would do it in public as a show. But I was like, no, don't do it to try to show people like you're this kind of person when you don't even do that when we're alone. Just don't fake it. So he marked all of the boxes. Like, it was so nice. But then it's like, it doesn't seem like I can find anyone that is emotionally all put together. None of us are perfect in that aspect. I am not emotionally put together, but hey, I keep my shit compartmentalized. Anything that I'm dealing with on my stress or depression or anything like that never feeds into the person that I am with, because they also are my happy place. So it's like, but he had just stuff going on with his kiddos in his life and stuff and things with work. And then he just could not manage how to not have that affect the way that he was with me. And I was like, how can you not?
I kind of think it was also the fact that you wanted to be married and he didn't want to marry again. I think that also was unfortunately a factor. And I want to put out there. I
could have changed that though.
I know you could have. There's nothing wrong.
Other people that I have been with, like they never wanted to get married, and my ex-husband married me, and then my last one wanted to get married. So because of the woman that I am, I know I'm a good woman. They're like, holy crap, she really is worth marrying.
Yeah, you have to be, put your best foot forward and be a good, genuine person. And then that will change a lot of people's minds. So I totally agree with that. But, for all the guys who say women need to lower their standards, her and I have lowered our standards. Okay. She married and was with people she wasn't as physically attracted to. I did the same thing, but we looked at the person on the inside, which unfortunately I don't think gentlemen do enough. I'm not saying she's got a great personality, get with the fat girl. No, I'm not saying that, but you really need to take in consideration now that you've got the package on the outside. Okay, great. But there's somebody on the inside that you might not like so much. So, people need to take into consideration who is on the inside before they just delve into the whole commitment, which brings up the whole fact of why is it, we talked about this the other day, why is it do these guys who say they want traditional women and good women and then they get them, they either go for the bitch, just the outright bitch, or they go for somebody who's like a 304, and we know guys love 304s. Okay, we know you like the sluts, we get it, but that's not necessarily what you marry, right? They say all this big game, they say all this big talk, but they don't follow through with the very thing that they're talking about, which to me is very hypocritical.
It is, and I can't seem to understand it.
I don't understand it.
I just don't understand it. So the last guy that I was with, I gave him severe kudos and praise for this, because when he tried to date someone like a year or two before me, because he asked me a question during our date. He's like, I have to ask you this. He's like, do you have an OnlyFans? And I was like,
thank you. It's kind of like a compliment and an insult all in the same package. I love it.
Yeah, but I was like, no, I'm barely even on social media. You know that. I was like, why do you ask? He's like, I just have to ask because the last girl that I was talking to and was looking into dating, I found out that she had an OnlyFans, and I do not date women like that. And I was like, oh, like, I loved that. He doesn't do any of that. He doesn't even watch porn. Like, so, you know, he's rather just,
refreshing.
because he knows it's fake. So it's hard for men to find men like that, because they're like, it's hard to find a well-rounded guy that's like, well, I know that that's fake, so how is that going to get me off? Because it's not real. That scenario is just played out, like all that other stuff. So
kisses for you. He said I'm his favorite. So kisses for you. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Please continue.
No, you're good.
It was a sweet compliment. Thank you, sir. We love you too.
So it's I don't get it, but I have talked to men that we were both kind of like interested in each other or whatever, but and their whole profile and us talking again, they go down the list, everything that sounds good on paper that you're supposed to say to get yourself a good woman. You know, I don't believe in cheating. I want someone that has no drama, because what do they talk about the most, like, in this freaking space all the time? Drama. Is that men need to find a woman that doesn't have a bunch of baggage and no kids, that's traditional, that's submissive. Yeah. You know, all these other things. I'm like, okay, I check that.
Yes.
Yeah. I check that. I don't have any baggage. Someone that's going to give you open access to sex. Check that box. Someone who likes to cook, clean, and take care of the home. Check that box. Like, all these other boxes I check. But for some reason, they will not pick you. And they will go and entertain ladies of the night. And I don't get it. And it's nothing but chaos. Everything with that is chaos. Disease and chaos. I don't know why they pick disease and chaos. I have only been
drama is fun.
6 people in my entire life. And I am almost 40 years old.
My camera's doing weird shit. Hold on. I'm listening. Yes, I'm so sorry. It's AI tracking just popped on for no stupid reason. Okay, there we go. Turned it off again. Oh my gosh, it's got a life of its own. I don't understand it either, and I find it hypocritical. And it's like somebody's got a double standard or a secret lifestyle, you know, or they want somebody to be their mommy or their wife in home and like a slave and pick up after them, and then they can go skirt around on the backside, you know. So it's very disingenuous. It makes you think you're dealing with like a Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde. Well, and it's very self-defeating.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's super contradictory to me. It just never makes any sense, because my crazy ex, I would ask him that. I'm like, because he was nothing but a liar and a cheater and a narcissist. Yeah. And I every time I gave him an out. Every single time I caught him doing foul, I gave him an out. I was like, look, I really don't think, like, you want a good woman. You have a good woman. But you don't want to do anything to be the man that I deserve and that a good woman deserves. Like, I don't understand. I was like, I really do not think that you are capable of being faithful. I think you need to find someone that wants a lifestyle like you, which is an open relationship, because I will never give you that. I'm sorry. Whatever's underneath your clothes is mine and only mine. And whatever's underneath my clothes is only for you. Like, exactly. I don't post provocative pictures. I don't post any of these, like, things about myself. When's the last time I even posted anything about myself?
Like never. Like, since after.
Like, if anything, it's me, I'm a dog and I'm in gym clothes or something. Like, I don't do that kind of stuff because the only attention that I want is from you.
Your significant other, yes. I agree. That's all we need. We just want your attention. Did you hear this, boys? We want your damn attention. Give it to us. Okay?
Yes. So, and he kept telling me just over and over and over, and it was bugging me that he's just constantly lying to my face. He's like, no, I believe in monogamy. I'm like, then why is it every couple months I catch you chewing dirty? You have the perfect woman at home for you. I never tell you no. I'm ready whenever you are. I cook and clean and pick up after you. You don't even fucking work. So our whole relationship, I was basically supporting you. You were always living with me. You had nothing. You came into this with absolutely nothing. You came into this a broke man.
Yep.
Gave you a chance.
And we know he's still broke. He's still a brokey girl.
He's making his living by frauding other people. But
yes, he is.
That's a whole other day and time and
That's
story.
a whole nother day, a whole nother story, a whole other stream.
So for me, it's like, I cannot understand it. It's like, it's almost like it's a challenge for certain men to take a good woman and I do not.
He's interested.
I don't smoke the marijuana.
No ganja.
I am allergic. I don't smoke it. But I love horror movies.
So do I. Yeah.
I just don't. It's almost like it's a challenge for good men to see if they can break a good woman.
Oh yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. One, can I get her? Because I know that if I was my true self, I would never have a shot in the world. And that is true. Because my crazy ex, I never would have given him the time of day if he actually did not lie to me about who he was. I never. And he admitted that. When I found out he had a double life, he told me, he's like, well, if I told you that I was doing this, this, or this, I knew you would never speak to me again. I was like, so you robbed me of that choice is what you did.
Yeah, that's what they do.
You robbed me of that choice. Because you wanted a good woman. You wanted to flaunt that you had a good woman, but you ain't going to do a damn thing about it to keep her.
You're outing their secrets. He's telling you, shush.
What?
You're outing their secrets, so he's going, shush. Okay.
Whose secrets?
The secrets of what they do. You know, 2 things, 2 points. 1, all the psychology reports start coming out last year. Anybody involved in like manosphere, red pill, all that stuff is part of the 3 dark triad personalities. Machiavelli, psychopathy, and narcissism are the ones who are mostly attracted to that stuff. Is it starting to make sense now? And 2, a good friend of mine, to which the name will not be mentioned, told me a lot of us guys, we like to get a good woman and then drive her crazy on purpose. So, you know, it's more fun for them that way. And they can turn them into an emotional basket case. And then they get to call you crazy for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I want to know how, being Latin, you didn't stab somebody. Because me, I would have been throwing stuff across the room. I'm like, what'd you say to me? Womp, and I throw a frying pan or grab a broom handle.
I have a lot of patience.
Well, I have a lot of patience, but when you start attacking me,
that's a different story.
Yeah.
I've had someone lay hands on me and beat me like a man, and I did not put up with that.
Yeah.
Did not put up. I had to go to the hospital. I did not put up with that.
I've had my share of that. Yes, you told me about that hospital incident.
Yeah. I actually have that on video too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Ooh, I recorded that whole instance.
Smart.
Me in the taxi trying to find my way to get there. No money. Me sitting outside the hospital stranded.
Oh my gosh. Well, he ain't gonna like the fact that you got that, and you can talk about it too. It's like receipts.
Rather not. I got lots of receipts, but I'd rather not.
Yeah, I know, because it can turn into a whole other, issue. Self says, don't threaten me with a good time. He likes violent women. He likes this crazy broad.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm not, like, I'd rather just be calm and talk to you. Oh, that was like another thing that when you and I have been talking about the problems in like the dating world, at least for me, is that men, it seems like, have avoidant personality these days.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't want to talk about anything.
No, they just walk away.
They'd rather just walk away and ghost you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand it. And I'm not used to that. Like, my parents don't always communicate correctly, which I have helped them with communication. I hope so.
They love you already.
Not in the forest where I live, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, they have avoidant personalities. They don't want to deal with any conflict. If they are the perpetrator, we've talked about this. They're the perpetrator, and they don't want to deal with the shit that they're stirring in the pot with you. And it's
Yes.
like, why can't we talk about this? Why can't we get through this? Why can't we work through this and then move on?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
It's been so hard because I have had someone ghost me, and not just freaking communicate saying, hey, I'm going through a hard time right now. Like, I just do not think it's right for me to be in a relationship right now, because I do have a lot of things that I do not want to bring into the relationship, because I got this issue and this issue, and it's not right for me to be in a relationship if I can't manage that in the relationship, which is respectable. I would respect you for that. But at least let me know are you planning on working on it, or are you just gonna just kind of give up and say whatever? But they have such huge avoidant personalities. Like, I don't understand, because I'm an open book. Everybody who meets me knows that. I am an open book. Like, you're never gonna have to guess with me. I'm not that type of woman where they're like, well, does she really mean this? She's saying this, but does she really mean that? No, I'm going to tell you straight up, because I'm Costa Rican and Italian and French, and we don't hide nothing.
True. Same.
We don't hide nothing. Exactly. You know what it's like. We don't hide nothing. And our face don't hide nothing either.
That's true.
This don't hide anything.
I say what I mean, and I mean what I say the first time. You don't have to second guess it with me. I'm like a dude. Horton.
I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
self calls me a Cuban man in a woman's body. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. It's not very feminine feeling, but I'm just very direct. So if you're very direct, it's like guys don't want to deal with a very direct woman. But a lot of women don't like dealing with a lot of direct women. From what I've seen. Is that
direct in what way? Because there's always a good way and a bad way to be direct. Like, I know how to be direct, like get what I'm trying to say to you, like the point across, so you understand. So that way there's like no confusion or miscommunication. But I say everything with respect and empathy and sincerity. I don't just come unglued. I don't fly off the handles. Like, the only time I have flown off the handles is when I'm having people put words in my mouth, which is the one thing I will not stand for. If you are putting words in my mouth and saying, well, you're saying this, I'm like, where did I say that?
No.
Because what I said is this. So if you took it that way, that's not my problem. That's a you problem.
Yeah, that's your interpretation. And if you're feeding me back your interpretation, it also lets me know you're lying to me, in my opinion. Because it's a manipulation tool when people do that, and women do that, but in our case, we're talking about dudes, right? So that's a big manipulation tactic. So that's, true. I agree with you.
But there's just everybody. I think everyone should just be transparent, but at the same time, you also have to remember that people have feelings. People take things differently. That's why you have to know your audience, like who you're talking to. You have to know who you're talking to.
That's
and
true.
as long as you're saying it with respect and sincerity, to where you just don't sound like the B word, then if the person is not liking what you're saying, it's because of one of two things. One, because they know it's true and they don't like to hear the truth.
True.
Or two, they just lack accountability.
I think, and that's true. Absolutely. And I think in our case, very deceptive people, like if somebody wants to deceive you, they can. They really can. Like, can they deceive you forever though? No. Eventually it'll catch up. But if somebody tries hard enough, it's not that hard to deceive somebody. So I think in our case, we've had a lot of very deceitful men because we're very open and we're very honest, and we say what we mean and we mean what we say. And when we love wholeheartedly and without constraints, like zero, like, when I was rolling in money, I'd be taking my man shopping and make him look good. Seriously. I mean, I want you to look like a piece of ass next to me. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta match me. If I'm gonna go rolling up someplace, you better match me, because it would make me look bad. And I want to look at you and desire you. I don't want to be sitting there looking at some clown, like some guy homeless next to me.
I've had one of those.
I've had two of those. Two, not one, two.
Yeah, I've had one of those. I don't know.
We both have low body counts, which is shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. That's the thing. I will have men tell me that I just didn't. I feel like men that I'm at least. I can't say this for all men. I will never speak for all men because I haven't met every man in the world. Okay.
Yes.
But the men that I have come in contact with, it seems like they say things more feminine or in a way that normally is how a woman would respond.
Yes.
And
we're going to get into that.
I don't quite understand it.
I don't know. Here, let's pull up those two memes. Well, let's start with one of those memes and then we'll talk about that. Get you a man who doesn't spend his free time on the toilet flirting with other women. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right. That's another thing that I run into is, of course, the people are on dating apps are probably also on social media.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want somebody that is obsessed with social media because, yes, it's a trigger for me because my ex did nothing but cheat on me on social media and secret dating apps. Mm-hmm. And I was constantly catching him doing dirty on that stuff. And I don't want that because, like, one, also it's very time consuming. And so the last person that I was with, like, I loved the fact that when we actually were hanging out together, whether it was watching baseball or watching a movie, or we were out having dinner or going on a little road trip somewhere, it was so nice because he was never on his phone.
I know. I would love to not deal with that.
I was like, wow. And he doesn't have all of the platforms or anything. Like, all he had was Facebook. And I was like, great, because that's really the main one, the only thing that I use. And that's just because my mom and my sister send me stuff. But it was so nice. But then he also had the respect to tell me, like, when we were hanging out and his phone would, like, beep or whatever, he goes, just give me 2 seconds, give me a minute. He's like, I'm going to pick up my phone really quick. I just need to make sure that that's not my kids and that they need something. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then he would look at it, he was like, no, it's just work. And then he would throw it back down. I have never had that before. And I value that so much, but it's hard to find people that value that too.
It is.
And my ex there was a time when we first started dating where that mofo would be in the bathroom for 12 hours out of the entire day. I timed him every time he went into the bathroom and how long he stayed in there. And one day it totaled of 12 hours of him doing foul crap, of being on Chatterbait, porn sites, flirting on his dating apps and stuff that he did not know that I knew he had. 12 hours a day flirting with other women.
That's like addict behavior right there. Is what that reminds me of. Total addict behavior and scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to find somebody that isn't obsessed with that kind of stuff. Because I don't even have social media on my phone. I don't have none of those apps on my phone.
Have you seen those couples who are on their phone while they're on a date? And they're eating lunch or dinner together and they're each on their phone and they're not talking to each other, or the guys walking around and they got their face in their phone while they're walking around and shopping and they don't notice really anything else around them. Yeah, I've had the same problem. So I do not want to date somebody who's constantly on video games, constantly on their phone and social media, because I know when they're on social media, they're looking at other bitches. You know what I mean? So I know they are.
Exactly.
There's too much temptation to not be doing it. And it's geared to do just that. It's geared to keep people addicted and
it really has
and the whole 9 yards.
Relationships. It really has ruined a lot of relationships and false expectations and makes people question, like, maybe they could have somebody better or whatever the case is. And, you know, it makes it so much easier to cheat. Do you know that it used to be so hard to cheat when my parents were growing up because they didn't have cell phones or nothing? You actually had to go use a freaking payphone so nobody could track you and then call your hoochie on the side and ask her if she was working at a bar tonight.
Yeah. Like, it was more work to have the mistress a little bit. Although I would probably say it was maybe a little bit easier because it was harder to trace, right? So it was a little bit, but it's more work in the end. I don't know, self.
It could be harder to trace to a degree, but it was still easily found out about because normally they would find out from bank statements.
Here, Trippy says, I barely use my social media. I might open Instagram to watch funny things or Twitter, but I despise Facebook.
Oh, really? I despise Instagram because of that. Everything's just whole activity on Instagram, in my opinion.
It is. I despise all of it. Only reason I have to do it now is because I'm trying to build this channel and a brand, Otherwise, I was off of social media for years. I disappeared. People couldn't find me anywhere. I knew years ago the social score was coming. And I was like, whoop! I'll just delete it all. And I'll go poof, disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I did. I disappeared almost 2 years ago.
Yep, I disappeared like 7 years ago.
Yep.
After I had my kid, I was like, I'm done. I don't care anymore. It's too much effort. So let's see. So we should elaborate. What were we first starting off on that? We went into the phone thing, but there was something we were supposed here. Let me check my notes.
It was the meme, I thought, that we were talking about.
Yes, it was the meme, but there was something we were going to talk about before the meme. But you know what? Let's look at the other meme because the other meme is funny. Why are you single? You're too pretty, girl. No, babe. I'm too pretty to entertain liars, time wasters, and emotionally unavailable men with nothing but lust to offer.
Yeah. I've run into that a lot when I was talking to people or trying to see what it'd be like to date. I would get the whole, this is where I was talking about where it seems like men have women responses nowadays because they would say things like, I just didn't feel that spark and no fireworks and all that. All this that I didn't feel any of this that I just thought I would feel when I'm looking for it. I'm
like, routine.
What?
Yeah, the sensitive guy.
That's what women used to say when they would girl talk. Did you feel the spark? Was there fireworks? It's crazy to hear a man say this, like, well, I just didn't have that spark. I just couldn't, when I tried to picture us having a future together, I'm like, we talked for 2 hours.
Yeah. How did you not feel a spark if you talked for 2-3 hours?
Right, but they're like, but this is the but.
Mm-hmm. The caveat, yes.
Yes, but they'd be like, but I do feel a sexual connection there with you. So, if you were interested, I'm like, first off, don't you ever say to me or don't even start to say to me that if we want to just be fuck buddies or have casual sex, I will punch you in the throat.
I want to just be fuck buddies.
But that's what it seems to be like. Oh, I don't see that spark, but she's really hot, so at least I'll have a good time. I'm not working on this to kill time with someone.
No, I agree with you.
I'm working on this for myself and for my future person that I want to enjoy the fruits of my youth with. Before I shrivel and turn into a raisin.
Women don't want to live the movie You've Got Mail, right? No, not really.
I don't know I haven't seen it.
It's that stupid Tom Hanks movie with Meg Ryan, and they started emailing each other back and forth. It's been so long since I've watched it. I don't even remember it anymore. And I don't like watching Tom Hanks because he's kind of pedo. So, just put it where it belongs. He's kind of pedo boys and girls. So like, I don't watch that guy anymore.
Yeah. But
he says shit.
Oh.
And that's it with Sean. That's a Rob Reiner movie, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Question for CoCo? What?
What's the question? What's the question?
It's probably typing on a monologue.
Respectfully, I hope. What's the question, gentlemen?
Yeah, but so while we're waiting for that, I feel like I get those kinds of responses, or I have gotten those kinds of responses.
Well, that ties in. You know what I forgot to upload?
I am not bi. In any way, shape, or form, I have never been.
Oh, shit. Well, there you go.
I don't know why you thought I was bi. Never been. I have never I will admit that I had tried to experiment to see if I could with a female. Instantly said, hell no, we won't go. I'm all dick.
It's probably because we're Latin.
Probably. It just was, everything about it was just too feminine. I just don't like. I'm not into girls. I'm not. I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to touch you. I will hug you.
I've never played with girls ever, not once. It was strictly dickly. When I finally was dickly.
Of course he did. I am not.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Then we'll have to
He
do a stream, and we'll combat all his lies, and then we'll talk about the fact he is bisexual. How about that?
he is actually.
Every dude who's into massive bodybuilding, and competitive, most of
I
them
have heard that.
are dude. I
I've heard
know.
that.
I have a guy who I'm going to be doing an interview with. He's a martial arts trainer and stuff like, and he's like, all the guys that I come across who are competitive, he's like, they're all gay, Star. And I was like, you just confirmed all the rumors I ever heard. Seriously. So
Yeah.
because they're, he's like, I used to walk into the gym and then they'd be doing stuff in the showers and stuff. It's like, oh,
yeah. Nope. I have never been into females. And of course I could see my crazy actually saying that just because, of who he is and what people probably have found out that he's into. But no, he knew. I knew he definitely tried to encourage me because I knew that he was into it.
Yes.
And wanted to. And I was like, I told you that you couldn't be monogamous and you want somebody like this. And I was like, that's not me. So yes, he definitely tried to encourage me to try it and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, this isn't for me. I am not a bisexual woman.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I am a Christian, straight woman. I find the male body to be the most beautiful thing God created for those that take care of themselves.
Yeah. To us women. Yeah. That's normal. I feel exactly the same way. My one ex, the older guy who got a hold of me, this is a good segue. We could use this. He tried, because I never watched porn, right? I was still the V, and then he got a hold of me and I wasn't really the V anymore, right? So V card, I mean. And he would try to introduce porn all the time. And then he was trying to like, oh, look at this girl. And then, oh, what about this? And then he started bringing other girls around. He's like, hey, Star, would you ever consider? He was trying to brainwash me and groom me. And girls are far much easier to groom than males are, because males are, biology wise, they're more disagreeable personality types. So do you think he was trying to?
Oh, he was definitely trying to groom me into somebody that he really wanted to be with. Because he was into things with his ex-wife.
Oh, that makes sense, doesn't it?
And that's when I found out when I actually moved in with him, when he begged me to move in with him and I want to have a life together in there. And I fell for it. I found out that he had a double life and that he was playing house with his ex that he was supposed to not be married to anymore. And they were living a double life and engaging in things together. And when I found out about that, I was like, I don't want anything to do with that. That's not me. I am a one woman, one man kind of woman. I do not share. My parents raised me that sharing is caring, but not when it comes to your partner.
No, I own that shit. It's mine.
No.
P. Fletch is laughing at us. Yeah. P. Fletch. When we got you, you're ours. Your soul belongs to us. We run that. And Sean goes, yeah, and not when sharing diseases. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We don't want any more communicable diseases. AIDS is making a strong comeback.
Really?
Dude, yeah. There's high reports of it coming back. More STDs, and there's a new one that they're calling a plasma, and it's giving women a harder time.
Yeah,
they called it something, and at the end of it was plasma. And this one girl, she was talking about how it took over 6 months to get rid of it because it was resistant to all different types of antibiotics and stuff, and they'd never seen it before. And it came from this dude who was foreign, and I can't remember if she was in Texas or if she was in Florida. It might have been Florida, but it was somewhere over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, and that's why I don't sleep with people unless I'm actually in a committed relationship with them, and they have to get STD tested before I even sleep with them. And it's not a double standard because I get tested every year because my ex was a cheater.
Yeah.
My ex was a cheater, and I found out that he had cancer dick. So my ex is a cheater. So I have to protect myself because I don't know. I've seen the floozies that he has slept with.
Yeah.
And it sucks for me because now he is so selfish and so self-centered that all he cared about was him, that he did not think about what you could possibly give to a pure woman.
Yep.
That is being faithful to you. So
I found out my older guy was also seeing hookers on the side.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like you. Before I will sleep with the new one, I make them all get tested.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I get it done every year, and I keep that sheet of paper because I'm not sleeping with anybody and I haven't forever, and I'm not dating anyone. So, but I figured you never know. So, but I always just have my record. So it's a requirement because I do not believe in double standards in relationships. So I will never ask anything of you that I would not do myself.
Exactly. Same.
And there's a lot of that in today is just a lot of double standards.
Yeah, it's all total double standards.
And expectations that they wouldn't want the other person to ask of them, which I don't think is right. Ethically, it's not right.
No, it's ethical. No, there's no ethics about it at all. It's rules for thee and none for them. It's a total double standard, and it's a total like. That's why I can't stand the manosphere stuff. I absolutely, when I came into this, I said, I'm going to come in, I'm going to dismantle the whole thing because they're pushing all this crap onto young boys, you know? And I've got a little guy at home, and the last thing I want is him to be seeing social media and then him getting pre-programmed to thinking this is really how it is between men and women, and this is how men are supposed to act. And I'm like, no, this is not how men are supposed to act. I had a man from 1928 raise me. I know how men act. And these new males, I won't even call them men, these new males who are coming up, they are not men. They are more feminine than they are male.
Yep.
And it's very disheartening because, you know, we're the ones who end up having to be practically the man in the relationship. They have no get up and go. They have no standards. They have no go out and slay the dragon. They don't want to conquer anything. They want to have it given to them. And we were talking about this the other day. I was like, I've had a lot of gold diggers, unfortunately. And it seems to be the new gold digger is, you know, the men have caught up to the women in some regards where they want to be the new gold diggers, be treated like women. And they look for women who already have a house, who already have a stable job. They pay the monthly nut, AKA, you know, the rent, the house note, utilities, the basics, the essentials. And then so they can just walk right in. They can move right in. And one of mine had an uncle, and he proved me. And the guy is older than me. And he got around me and he was telling me how he was looking for a new woman so he could move in with her. But he's not going to marry her, you know, but he wants to waste her time.
Yeah. That's the one thing I cannot stand is that how people can just waste someone else's time. Time is the one thing that we can't buy.
No,
we can't buy time. And we don't know how much time we actually are given every day.
Exactly.
And I think it's selfish of people to just mess around with people and manipulate them and lie to them just because it's either a challenge for you or because there's something that you want to gain out of it that could benefit you. And it's just all selfish. It's all selfish and single benefit. And I think that it's just one of the cruelest things that a person can do to another human being. It's just waste their time instead of just being honest.
Well, it seems, yeah. And it seems to me that society is raising nothing but a bunch of sociopathic narcissists. Like everybody's just kind of consuming everybody that they get in contact with, and it's what can I get out of it and who can I get it out of, and then they move on to the next victim. And we're breeding this. We're literally perpetrating and breeding these people into existence. Well, and it's scary as hell.
It's not just true nowadays. I mean, it's harder if people have younger kids because they're exposed to a lot more things than what you and I were exposed to growing up, which is what's causing that change in general. But what I also found interesting is what I thought that I was going to have maybe more success in the dating world is because of the age bracket that I'm looking for. And I'm like, okay, so we're going to be in alignment. You know, we both grew up in the era where family and marriage and all this stuff was very, very important. And I thought I was going to have more success. But it's crazy to see that even the exposure of all of this crap that is just being fed into these men, don't get married, don't have children, make sure she's a boss babe where she has her own money and she takes care of herself, and then you just move on in. It's crazy to see how much that has actually affected.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Because they don't want. It's like they're like the victims of their own demise, because when you have a traditional woman that has those traditional roles and values, like she's going to play her role as long as you are playing yours and showing her that she can trust you with that. And then your guys' is, as you call it, which I love that word, your guys' foundation is going to be so strong. And she's just going to go to the ends of the earth for you to make sure that you're happy, because she knows that you go to the ends of the earth to make sure that she's happy and that you provide for her. And it's nuts how it just doesn't seem like that's what people want anymore. Oh, I just want a life partner. And then
that's an insult.
We don't necessarily have to live with each other. You know, they can have their place and I have my place. I'm like, I actually know someone, a good friend of mine, his ex, he was telling me that she's like talking to him because she's going through some things with this guy that she married. Her ex is her husband is freaking stupid. And this girl is like a demon, because he told me that, so she got married to this guy, and now she won't sleep with him. And they don't live together. Really? She makes a lot of money. She makes more money than him, but they don't share a bank account. So she doesn't live with him. She never sees him. She doesn't want to be the mother to. She's told him all of this too. This is the thing. She told him all of this while they were dating. She goes, one, I'm not going to sleep with you unless we were married. So I think that's why he pushed the envelope, which is why he's dumb, is to get laid. And because I hear that she's a very beautiful woman. So he's like, oh, she's hot. She'll sleep with me. But when she also told him, like, we would never live together, and I'm never going to be a stepmom to your kids. Like, I don't want anything to do with your kids. And then we're going to have separate bank accounts. You pay for your bills, I pay for mine. And the dude agreed to it. But she still hasn't slept with him. And she lives hours away from him in her own home. Really? This is how
That's
dumb.
Crazy.
This is how dumb things have gotten. But some people are okay with that. Let's just be life partners and not have the commitment. No, that's because you know that when you make a commitment and you're actually making that commitment to that other person and to God, there is a lot of responsibility that comes onto your shoulders to make sure that you are upholding that promise.
There is.
And I don't think people want that responsibility, because they don't want to have to work. They just becomes easy.
That's what society's made. Is everything's instant gratification. Exactly. Everything is easy. Oh, I'm hungry. Here, just go through the drive-through, here. Oh, you're having problems. Here's a government program. They'll solve all the problems for you while they're creating all the problems, and they hand you the solution afterward. And then look what it's doing to everyone. I mean, tough times, even for women, for human beings, a little bit of struggle isn't always such a bad thing. It builds character.
Yeah.
Nobody has character. It seems like anymore,
I know. I just don't. It's been so defeating. I just decided, I'm like, budget. I give up. I completely give up. And it's just, I keep doing my thing every day. And I just hope that one day God will provide me with the person that I'm supposed to be with.
Yeah.
That we will be equally yoked in that manner. But at this point, I've just kind of given up. And it does suck, because I will admit, like, it's not like growing up when my parents were growing up. A person can survive off of a one household income.
Yeah, we can't hardly do that anymore.
Like, I work 2 freaking jobs. I work 7 days a week. This was a fluke having a Friday off. You knew that.
Yeah, I know. And I was so grateful. I got to talk to you and everything, hang out.
Yes, this never happens. But it's like, I'm barely surviving on just essentials. I'm a very, very minimalist person.
Same.
And
girl, I cut 4 inches off my own hair. Yes. I don't ever get my nails done.
Yes.
Like, I'm not sitting there being treated like some princess. And, I used to pay for it all back in the day. So,
yeah.
If you don't got it, you don't got it.
Yeah. So it is. It does suck, because it's like you can barely survive being with one person. So it does make it easier when there are 2 of you. But I will never be with someone just for a financial benefit. It's not worth it, because my ex-husband and I, the firefighter, like, we had a very, very comfortable life. But that wasn't worth it, and I didn't take anything from him.
Comfort is very nice. It's very nice.
It was very nice. I honestly had never been happier. I wish I was happier in our marriage, and I really wish that it would have worked, and I really wish that he would have done what he needed to do. I really do, because I believe that if he actually did fix those things and did not take that for granted, we would still be married.
More than likely, yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to find compatibility and also sexual compatibility, because if the guy doesn't have the same sex drive as the woman, you're just, button heads. It's like it's a go nowhere situation.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest mistake that people make, I'm not going to say it's men or women, because I think it can come from both sides. The biggest mistake that people make is when someone is voicing to you like, hey, this is a serious problem, but
let's fix it.
Exactly. But they don't actually take the time to fix it, because they have that comfortability being like, well, they'll never leave, or I'll just breadcrumb them. I'll work on it for a little bit to make them happy, so then that way I feel better that they're happy, but then I'll just, kind of phase off. They run that cycle. But once you actually get a person to the point where they can't come back from that, because there is a point, because they're not consistent, they're just going to keep doing the same thing, and you notice the pattern, and you're like, then that hits you like, I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life, because then I'm not going to be happy, and me not being happy is going to change how I'm going to respond and react towards you, and you deserve better than that. Everybody deserves better than that. Everybody deserves to constantly feel loved, cherished, and desired by the person that they're with.
I agree. That's supposed to be your person. Where else are you supposed to go? You're supposed to get that somewhere else. Well, then look, you're already committing the sin of stepping out of the marriage, right?
Exactly.
And if you're not getting it there, eventually that person will go somewhere else. And then you have to expect that. And men do it just as much as women do. And it's, for my own personal side, it's happened to me more from men, obviously, because, I'm a female, right? And I'm dating men, but it always seems to be coming from the men's side. Now, we want everyone to understand we are not man bashing. We are not doing that. We are talking about the legitimate issues. I love them and hate them at the same time. Yeah, we love you and hate you all at the same time. And you say the same thing about women. But I think coming from two more mature women, who've been married and lived some life, I think it's more advantageous for us to point out certain things and then get the ball rolling than listening to these young twits, like on the whatever podcast or whatever. They don't know anything. They can barely add two and two together. Like, seriously, get some life underneath you,
Yeah.
All right. So we covered the whole, the whole standards. We've covered all these other things. We talked about, we kind of touched on the social media and how it's replaced all normal forms of communication and creating more avoidant behavior, which translates over to less social skills and etiquette. To me, get out and touch boys, get out, boys, and touch the grass. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. It seems like it's a lot easier for people, because everything is done through social media or texting.
Yeah.
That they have the courage to tell you this stuff over a text message than actually telling it to you to your face.
My fireman broke up with me over text. It doesn't even have the balls to say it to my face. Now, mind you, it was a long distance relationship in Central California, but it wasn't that long. And he was like Weed, California, which is up by Oregon. But he didn't even to call me. He just fucking left me a text. Talk about rude and insensitive. Oh my gosh.
See, yeah, but I remember when we were growing up, if you were dating someone, you didn't date, but I mean, when you and I actually started to date people.
Yeah.
You actually had to meet up with them and tell them in person that this isn't going to work.
Yeah. Or actually dial the phone. Deet, 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 and then
have a conversation.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. It's everything's impersonal. And then, you're also misinterpreting stuff that's coming through that text on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. People There is nothing but miscommunication because people can put the own tone in their head that you may not even be saying, which is sometimes actually causes a lot of fights that don't even need to be fights.
Yeah, it totally
and
does.
they get all sassy and crap. And you're like, why are you being sassy?
Sassy.
Like, because you had a tone.
Mm-hmm.
How could you hear my tone through a text message?
True.
Like, how?
It was in your voice memo instead. Wait, it was the voice memo.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. My screen just turned black.
I saw that. Can you hit the off on the camera and turn it back on? Maybe it will reset it. Oopsie. Give us a second. Technical difficulties. And I need to turn this light on in front of me. I'm turning red and pink all over the place. Give me a second. Hold on. Is that better? I don't know if that's better or not. Oopsie. I didn't realize the sun would be going down so quick over here.
I don't know what it is. My camera's on.
I see that.
And it's plugged into my computer. So my computer.
I'll take you down and put you back up. Maybe that'll help. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, it's not even coming up.
No.
It's like a ghost. I know,
I'm all black.
Oh, do you think you have to leave and enter back in?
Maybe we could try that. Because I don't know what's going on. I can leave the studio and then try to come back.
Yeah, leave and come back.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're waiting for our lovely guest to come back. And Mike is muted. Well, what the heck? I said our lovely guest is coming right back. Her entire thing froze, and so it was not refixing. So she's leaving and entering in again. And in the meantime, I got from Robert Platinum, sent me $10. Thank you so much. That's going to go towards the repairs of the new system. And Self-Made sent $5. Thank you. I appreciate that. Here, she's back. Yay. And it's working. Woot. There we go.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea what happened.
It just happens.
Just bloop.
It's a Wi-Fi thing. When you do this, you're actually supposed to be, you're supposed to actually be grounded with your landline. Seriously. Which I'm on Wi-Fi too. So I'm also guilty.
Yeah. About that. It's getting dark over here so early. I hate it.
I know. So, I've been on a lot of the men's podcasts, and I've told you this before, but the rest of the audience doesn't know. A lot of men who are talking about relationships and, they're passport bros, or they're like MGTOW or whatever the case may be, and they like talking to me because I'm a little weird. I'm not like the average broad like you. And the first thing they talk about is dating and the struggles that men have in dating. And I was like, let me guess, you're on social media, right? And they're like, yeah. And we're picking up girls that way. Okay, well, that's your first problem. Like, stop looking somewhere else and start looking where you live, and get off of the social media, get outside, touch grass, go out and actually meet real people where you're looking at them in the eye, and start reintroducing the old fashioned way of, hi, this is my name, and blah, 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 make conversation. They don't want to do that anymore because they're scared.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have said that they get paranoid, or they get feeling like they're, inadequate, or whatever the case may be, intimidated, but they really need to get out and stop looking somewhere else and start concentrating on where they live, quite frankly, because I stopped dating long distance long time ago. It's just too damn difficult.
It really is. I mean, hell, even dating someone local is difficult. It really is.
I'll read the message. You talk, and then I'm going to pull this up.
Because the guy that I was recently seeing that I really like, we only lived like 30 minutes from each other. And it was still challenging for us to spend time together.
Really?
And I felt like we had more of the majority of our relationship was through text message than it was actual physical interaction with each other, doing things, going out and to do things. But when we did do things, we spent the whole day together. But it's crazy. But again, like, you know, he had to worry about, like, you know, his kids being home and like where were they going to be and all that, like all, you know, the whole shuffling and stuff, which again, I understand and I'm respectful of that. But it's like, but then let's make more of an effort to actually go out and do things to spend time with each other, because our shifts were different. So like, I have a essential worker job, so my job never shuts down. And then he has a government job and he's very high up in the government. So, but his shifts are different than mine. Like, his shifts start and end 2 hours before my shift does. So he gets off at 2:30 and I get off at 4. Okay. So we never, like, we used to see each other before I had, you know, this job that I had to get previously, more often at the gym, around the same time. And now we don't, because by the time that I'm getting off work, he had already left the gym or is now in transit of like leaving the gym. So we don't get to see each other very often. So it was more of a challenging. So yes, I have been like, I'm not doing long distance relationships anymore. I did it with my crazy ex, and it was the worst mistake I ever made, because there's too much stuff that's hidden, too much stuff that they could easily lie and hide about, and then you find out later, because God does that. God showed me every single time. I was like, God, if something foul is going on, can you please just let me know?
I know.
And he would, every single time. And
I don't think a half an hour is anything. I wouldn't have a problem with a half an hour. I don't even have a problem with a couple of hours, but
I didn't have a problem with the half hour, but I'm saying, like, it's rough that we were only 30 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
And
your schedules were opposite.
Yeah, but it seems like it was just still too hard to figure that out. And not from me. Like, my friend told me, my best friend Tony, he's like, you made yourself too available.
Yeah.
But again, I'm accommodating. That's who I am. And I would like to actually meet somebody who's just as accommodating. I'm not saying he wasn't, because he knew that I'm prepping for a show. So instead of like him going, like when we go on a road trip and he buy us lunch, he was like, I was like, I can't eat anything though. And he's like, that's okay. He goes, we'll food prep it. We'll eat bodybuilder style. I'll bring my food. You bring yours. We'll have a picnic. I'm like, that works. So like,
that's sweet. That's really nice.
He did accommodate for things like that, like, because he respects what I'm doing and how hard I'm working, and so, you know, it's nice, but it just sucks. It was like, it just didn't seem like there was just more of enough effort. I feel like there's just a lot of, unfortunately, there is a fear, which whatever kind of fear that each man may be struggling with is allowing that to take control over something that they could have that is great. And I know that he had that. Like, you know, exactly, like we've talked about, you knew what his fear was, and he allowed that fear that he should be in control of, that he actually can take control over, affect us not being in a relationship.
I agree. So Self-Made, when he gave the $5, he said, thank CoCo for being here and away from the pole. LOL. You're shit. Stop flirting. I know what you're doing. No.
I'm not a lady of the night. I do have a stripper pole that I've never used, though.
That would be so much fun.
I haven't just never used it.
I would totally do that in the house. Although I have to get my shoulder fixed first. But I used to really want to do that. And the silk ties from the ceiling. Oh, God.
I have always wanted to do that.
I've wanted to do that so bad. And I had the upper body. It would be so easy. You know, now it would be a challenge because I have the 2 tears, one right here and one right here. But before, oh, yeah, I would.
Hold on. Wait. You're the side chick and he's got a secret family in another state. No, I'm not.
They're poking at us.
I know his ex-wife. It makes you feel special. Making ladies like that. I will never be a side chick. And I would never date anyone that has any kinds of intentions like that. Like if they tell me that, oh, well, you know, it could be casual. That's a red flag, because if you can have something casual with me, that does not mean that if we were in a relationship, that you would not try to find somebody to have something casual with on the side.
True. I agree. I don't want to be side chick either.
No. And
I don't want to be a mob wife either, and then have them have side chicks because somebody's going to die. Okay, I'll tell you right now, my Latin rage will come out, and somebody's going to get pokey somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't want to be someone's like I am the only option. I don't want to be one of the many options that you have to choose from. I am the option, or there's no option at all. I will never compete with another woman. Never will. 100% won't. And I even told the guy that I was recently with, I said, I want you to be honest with me. How many women are you talking to right now? And he's like, none. I was like, can you prove it? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I was like, because I will not compete with any woman. So if you're trying to fill this out and if you're talking to a few women, no shame on you. You do whatever you got to do to maximize your options. But I am not that type of girl. I will not compete with another woman. I know what I bring to the table as a human being with my morals and values and the type of person that I am. And there's no freaking comparison.
Not enough.
There's no comparison, and I won't compete.
Yeah.
Because then I am chasing someone, and I'm not going to be the person chasing another human being. You can freaking chase me.
Well, they're supposed to chase the women. They are the apex predator. They're the one who's the hunter and the gatherers. They chase what they're supposed to. That's the whole thing. Like we talked about this. If you look at the 70s and even in the 80s, about the 80s is when it started to really change. By the 90s, it was full-fledged, going sideways. But if you look at people then, they were more healthy, they were way skinnier, and men were still out there slaying the dragon. So like men's real nature is to step over each other to accomplish what they want because they're competitive by nature. And that's perfectly fine. I've got my little guy and I would take him places. And if there's another kid, even in his age range, instantaneously, they would size him up and want to get into a fight. Just how boys are. So don't tell me that this new breed who wants everything to be handed to them and they don't want to compete for anything or grab root and growl. It's like, okay, so I'm the man, right? I'm the man. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that crap. I'm not chasing any men, and I'm not going to compete with any other females because if I'm not enough, then I wash my hands.
Right.
There's no way to compete with that anyways, because they're always going to be looking to something else anyways,
Exactly. And I mean, yes, for what Toasty Man Bad said, that he said, how about chase each other? I think that's beautiful. I love it when both people chase each other.
That's normal.
I love that.
Women chase, we chase, but we chase a little bit differently.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We chase by constantly being over accommodating and constantly
available,
doing the cutesy things because we're thinking of them type of thing, which I feel like a lot of the times women have turned into the more romantic type as opposed to men, because I have always been more romantic in all of my relationships, especially like the last two with my firefighter husband and then the crazy. I have always been the more romantic.
Same.
Yeah. And I was doing those things, and it would be nice to have somebody it's always nice to have somebody that sees the effort that you put into it and they appreciate it so much that they want to give that back, because it is a true statistic that the way that we also treat other people is secretly showing them what we want to receive love back.
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to be the one putting the rose petals on the bed, boys. I don't want to be the one lighting all the candles all the time, because at that point I'm doing it just for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like I made an actual fort inside my apartment living room one day for Valentine's Day, and I put pillows everywhere. I put up string lights and everything, and was like doing an in-home like movie theater type of thing. Because I've always wanted somebody to do that for me. Like, let's have a camp out in the middle of the living room and like pitch a home tent inside with all those lights and all the bells and whistles. Nobody's ever done that for me.
Same. And light the fireplace if there was one, make it nice and pretty and romantic. Now, Sean says this. Look what Sean just said. Now, you answer this one, and then I'll go after you.
Men actually have loyalty and fair play. Okay, so I am really stupid when it comes to stuff like this because I don't have much experience. So what is he trying to say?
It's like red pill talking points.
That's why I don't understand it.
Yeah.
because I never understand red pill. I don't speak their lingo. Been around it, but I'm like, So what is he trying to say?
He's trying to say that women don't have any loyalty and stuff, and that's a lie. That's not true at all.
That's not true at all.
Not at all.
That is so not true. I was loyal to my crazy the entire time that we were together when all he ever did was lie, cheat, and steal. I never stepped outside that relationship. And the funny thing is when somebody that I knew called him out, he retracted his statements about him saying that he was telling people that I was lying and cheating. And he goes, well, no, that's not true. I mean, I did, but I'm sure she did. I just could never prove it. You can't prove it because it never freaking happened.
Exactly.
If it's out there, you could prove it. The reason why you couldn't, you had access to all of my stuff. You had the passwords to all of my stuff. I never hid anything from you. You just couldn't stand the fact that you were a piece of shit and you had a good woman that actually stayed loyal to you when you didn't deserve for me to shit in my hands and clap it in your face.
Are we doing a stream to follow this one up about that specific issue? We could.
Probably not, because that part of, like, I have never experienced anyone in my entire life that has ever made me feel rage. And I feel an absurd amount of rage anytime someone breathes that motherfucker's name in my direction.
Yes.
Cannot.
Okay, so we're not going to do a stream talking about that certain specific person without naming their name, though. Well, you could think about it.
I'll think about it because just as you saw. No,
I know. It triggered you. It was a trigger moment. It was a trigger
point. The PTSD I got from that toxic person is absolutely absurd. Absurd. And what bothers me is because I am just not a petty person. I am not vengeful. God will take care of that for me. But, sometimes, you want to, because as you said, I got all of the receipts to prove every single thing that I'm talking about. And I have showed people that. Well, because I've had people be like, hey, I heard this and this and this true. What do you think? They're like, holy damn.
Well, it would just be more of your story. So that way they can stop lying about you and hiding.
That's not going to change anything because
people have you're right, it wouldn't.
And even if I tell my story, one thing is that the proof that I have would have to be shared privately.
Toasty, I think we've been listing all the things that we have done and do, and we're not receiving anything back. So we're pouring in to another vessel and we're making that vessel full, and there's nothing being poured into us and we're empty vessels.
Oh, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. I specifically even said that I would desire to be with someone that's going to put the same amount of effort into what I am giving.
Same. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always giving. And it is never one person has to fill the other person's cup.
No,
only one person gets filled. They both need to be filled.
Yes, both.
But when a woman is actually being treated the way that she should be treated, she gives all of that back to him,
and then some,
with no hesitation. And she goes above and beyond for the person that she is with, because she's trying to show her appreciation and her love and desire for that person, making her feel like she is the own, and showing with her actions, not words, because actions speak louder than words. Words don't mean crap to me.
And when we're saying chase, it also means initiation.
Yes.
Like they have to have enough initiation to pursue. It's a pursuit. Okay. Men pursue. Today, men don't really pursue very much. And if they do, it's very surface level. So he says, not criticizing you or anything. Don't take it that way. Maybe you say you want a man who chases you as much as you chase him, ? When you make the dynamic that you want a man to chase you, hold please. I don't know. I got a little lost towards the end.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not asking for a man to, like you said, when I mean chase, I mean, like, I'm not the person that's always being the one initiating the conversation. I'm not the one that's trying to plan, like, so when are we going to hang out again? When are we going to spend time with each other? Like, if it literally is me always initiating talking to you or spending time with you, then it's showing me that I am more invested or more into this relationship than the other person. And I don't want to be with someone that isn't as interested or invested or wants to be invested into me.
Same. Yeah.
Because I will do that with you. I will message you every day or whenever you're available, or send you cute things or thinking of you, reminding of you, like, I'm free this weekend, or like, I have a few hours on this day. I would really love to see if you're going to be around just to give you a hug and a kiss, or just something, cute and stupid.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff I like to do. Cute and stupid.
Hearts and flowers and, cutesy stuff and stuff that couples used to do that it seems to be lacking these days. P. Fletch asks a question for you, which would you rather have, a fugly dude that is loyal or a handsome guy that will cheat?
I will go with option number 3 that you did not give me, and that is be single for the rest of my life.
Well, and I do not
mean that in a mean way. I mean, because Star and I have talked about this. It is natural for us as like, I will never be with another cheater. I will not, and I will not tolerate it the way that I tolerated it before. And I have been with men that I have not been attracted to.
Same. Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that I do not physically desire them as much as I would like to physically desire them. And that is very important in a relationship. It is very important to desire them. Because if they also don't feel like they're desirable, then you never know how that's going to affect them mentally.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be the person initiating intimacy. And I want to enjoy that so much with my person.
Same.
So fugly is a pretty strong word, because I have been, to a degree, I have been with pretty fugly.
Oh, I got a picture. I'm not going to show them.
Yeah, I have been with fugly. And
like a 4.
They were fugly and a cheater. So it doesn't really matter. Because they had both.
Like a 4, girl. Maybe on a good day it was a 4.
Because I know that part of me, if I'm not going to like find them physically desirable, I don't ever want to be the person where it's like, oh, I'm just never going to sleep with him and make him miserable or never initiate it. Why would I want to put him through that? So I'd rather just be alone.
In the space, they would call it non-negotiable, genuine desire. Gag. There's always variables. Nothing is ever concrete. Like maybe if we found somebody who's, not total dad bod and not total fugly, as poor P. Fletch is talking about. I don't know why he keeps saying fugly, but there's always a negotiable line in there somewhere. But ultimately, we would like to have somebody that we desire as much as you desire a woman. Your type. We have types. Okay. So if you don't want to settle for anything less than your type, why does the woman have to settle for less than what her type is?
But I feel like we do sacrifice sometimes. We actually, I can't say a lot more because I don't know stats on nothing. I don't do research because I don't really care, to be honest. I'm not like everybody else. I gotta have the facts. I'm not speaking on facts. I'm speaking on my personal experiences and the things I actually have witnessed. Okay? I'm not going to do it based off of studies that could have been paid for people to go in their favor.
John has it. We want to feel wanted. Bingo. Exactly.
Toasty said something.
Let me go up here.
Yeah, that one.
I've never had that, actually. It's usually always me who has to do everything, and that's left me pretty burnt out on wanting a relationship, let alone even thinking about initiating one. Well, that's how we feel. That's how we feel.
That's exactly how we feel. I 100% totally understand and agree with that.
Yes.
Because that's I have, like, my last crazy, I gave everything, and I was left with absolutely nothing. And I was like, I am done. Like, it is too much work. But that's the thing. It's not supposed to be this much work, but people make it more complicated than it needs to be. That stuff should just be free flowing.
Are you ladies single?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Yes.
And then, Sean, are you looking for a fight? Listen. I know Sean. He's a nice dude. You're talking about what you want from men. What are you talking about that you'll give to men and do for men? So far, it's all a list of demands rather than offerings. No, you haven't been listening. If you heard me from the beginning, you'd been hearing the horror stories that led us into what the context of this is, which is men are becoming more feminine and less men, and therefore it's putting women in a predicament, to be quite frank. And then we wonder why you start seeing women who are acting more masculine, because there's a lack of masculinity, period. There's no more dudes like my 1928 guy who raised me. You understand? He was tough as nails, and he was a man's man, and he knew how to dress, and he was groomed, and he looked good, and he kept his body and his figure together. Okay, and he knew how to treat a woman. He was also a shit, but that comes with the territory. I mean, seriously,
Yeah, and I listed all of my check boxes that this is what I'm like in a relationship. Why can't I get someone like that in return? So yes, we are talking about that. We are. We even made it known that we were not crapping on men.
Yeah, no, we're not really crapping on men. No. We're talking
I'm just
about
feeling defeated. I'm feeling defeated at my age where it's like I feel like I am going to be alone for the rest of my life. So I'm either going to get someone like my crazy ass ex, which I will never do again. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to end up being alone.
A cat lady.
Nope, dogs. Lady. Frenchies. Frenchie lady.
My Frenchie. Did she
Frenchie.
Leave? Nope, she's still sitting back here.
Yeah, Dexter's in his bed over there.
If I could get her to sit in a chair like yours does, it would be so cool. She'd be like my little co-host, but
that's what he did. He used to be my little co-host. I loved it.
I can't get her to do it. I've tried. Oh, so Trippy says, I have a serious question. Okay, what is it? Are you talking about me? John goes, are you talking about me? And then Self says, you are settle. What? I don't know. I must have missed something that didn't come out very well. TikTok. He said, John says, stop it. You're intelligent and beautiful. Why so hard on yourself, girl? Because we've been in the space of manosphere, and they've made it very hard on women. Or at least broads like us who are very kind of more normal, more normal women. We don't do all this weird stuff that you guys are encountering. And quite frankly, if you heard it at the beginning, we were talking about how men will actually seek out the crazy. They will seek out the crazy. They'll go for the 304. They talk about wanting traditional women like us with morals and standards. And we give as much as we would like to receive. We often give more than we ever receive, to be quite frank. But it's pretty much like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They say one thing, but they do another. So at that point, it's not honest.
Yeah.
Is it? If you're just going to look at the outer appearance on all standards, and then look past the crazy shit that's happening with those types of broads, that's a you issue. That's a psychology issue. You need therapy.
Yeah. And then I just feel bad for some of the men where we've talked about this, where we end up basically being punished for other women's bad behavior in their relationship. And that's hard.
Okay, so here's the question. Have you thought about snatching up an 18, 19, 20, just say up to 20, early 20s, and training them to be the man it doesn't work.
I'm not training nobody.
Yeah, it doesn't work though.
And then that's not genuine. Nobody should have to train anyone in a relationship. And I have actually had people tell me that, where they're like, oh, you should be dating a younger man. I've dated younger before. Didn't work out.
Trippy Cast has had some horror stories also. He says, this is a question for you, by the way. With my ex, I once set the dining room table up with candles, and I made us each a steak and set the lighting up. And she sat down and then looked at me and said, here, let me scroll down. Can't we just watch the TV instead? Well, it's because she's a bitch. She's a bitch.
Wait, were you guys in a fight?
Yeah, were you in a fight?
Yeah, were you in a fight? I mean, even though that's still a nice gesture and I would take it, but I could see like if...
No, it's not normal. He says, I guess my question is...
woman?
Yeah, no, it's not normal. No,
it's not normal. Mm-mm. If you guys weren't fighting, like if let's say you were fighting and she's just petty by nature, I don't like petty people. I'm not petty. And she was petty, I could see her be like, can we just watch TV? Because she doesn't want to be in that kind of romantic environment with you. But no, that's not normal.
No, it's not normal at all. Kick her to the curb. She's an ungrateful, unthoughtful, selfish bitch. Okay, Straight up. So you don't mess with people like that. When they start doing stuff like that and they start to show you who they really are, that's the other issue that we've talked about, which is why you get to a
lack
point
of appreciation.
Yeah, lack of appreciation, and then you get stuck in a situation, and most people are too emotionally invested to break things off when they should. It's time to just cut the cord on certain things, and that's one of them right there. Bandit says, "CoCo, you won't be alone. The question I have found dating in the 40s if finding someone that wants to put in the time." And Bandit, I know Bandit, he's a good dude.
Yeah. Again, I just keep coming up with the whole that spark wasn't there that I was looking for, but you're really attractive, and I feel.
But can we just have sex?
That's nice. Move along. Or I just can't right now. I just got a lot of things going on. I'm like, oh.
Self, you shit. Most Latin women love the drama. We all.
I don't.
I don't really like that much drama. No, thank you.
I don't.
I especially don't want drama inside my own home. It's supposed to be my safe space. It's not. That's reserved for the outside, past my door. The threshold of my door, drama should be there. Inside of my home, there should not be that type of drama. If there's that type of drama, then there's dysfunction going on.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because I never experienced that with my ex-husband, the firefighter. Like never. I mean, yes, we'd have arguments or disagreements, but like it was never chaotic. And we would make sure that we actually just sat down and talked about it because we never went to bed angry. Like people don't do that anymore.
No, gosh.
And I love that we did that. Like we would be up till 2:00 in the morning if we needed to, until we figured it out and figured out what we needed to do and how to make this better.
Yeah, it's called the resolve. You want to resolve issues and move on. Women like us, we like to resolve and move on. Yes, I don't want to replay. I don't want to
be in chaos.
Yeah, I don't want that
necessary. Why? But I feel like some people that have, I mean, there are studies that show that people that only know drama or chaos is the only way that they know how to operate. So they have to create it. And I had lived that. Where like there was no need for this to be like to blow up like this in a certain situation.
Yeah.
But it's because the only way they knew how to operate was to create chaos because then they could control it. And it was about control.
Yeah.
When you're in an argument or something's happening, it doesn't matter. It's not about who the freaking frack is in control. It's about there is an issue. It's going to affect us. How do we tackle this together as a unit?
Yeah, you're the foundation.
Exactly.
Here, something I've said to her, which most people aren't used to hearing. You as the man and the woman are the foundation. Your relationship is the foundation. After that comes the children and the house and the bills and everything else. And if the foundation, the husband and the wife, the man and the woman aren't there, then the whole thing starts to come apart, right? And the word of God even says two cannot walk together, say they be agreed. So it's not going to work. If you're not in agreement, it's a headbutting. And then it's just a matter of time before somebody says adios or does something underhanded and wrong, and hurts the other person out of spite. Self, you butthead. We know all Latin women love drama. It's all good. Like I can tell everyone you have to find the right kind of crazy for you. It's not that hard to get out of your heads, men and women. I agree with that.
Yes.
Yes. We all have to be able to tolerate what's going on. Somebody asked, and I forgot who it was. They want to know if you're on the West Coast or the East Coast. It's up to you if you want to say. Up to you.
I live somewhere in Washington State.
Okay, there we go.
I live in the forest. Because I do what Star says. You got to put your feet in the dirt.
I do.
Or in the grass.
I'm going to be gardening this year, girl. I'm going to be gardening my butt off.
Yes.
The thing is, fights should always be resolved before you go to bed. If not, it's always going to end bad because the lack of communication is a relationship killer. Absolutely. Yep. See, 100%. People who have been married and in real relationships and with children and stuff, we know this. You know what I mean? He knows this.
About the avoidancy that it seems like is happening so much that people just don't want to have the conversations. It's easier to pretend it's not existing and then just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually really good at archery. I just can't kill an animal.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
I can't do that. But I will I love the zoo. I love looking at animals, or I'll go hiking and look at animals. Fishing. I used to go fishing a lot with my papa when he was alive. So. And
if we lived close by, you and I would be hiking and, doing all that stuff together. I guarantee
the lady of the
stadium's a lake.
No, I would actually be happy if not so much the moss, but I would be happy if I had a cabin in the woods. That would be so peaceful.
Toasty. Got to bed fighting. You cuddle the shit out of each other. Anyways, promised moods will be reset. Well, at least if you start that physical initiation, that shows actual concern and love, doesn't it? I would agree. That helps. That helps simmer some things down.
Do that. I mean, because there are those people, and I've experienced that, where they would just treat you like you don't even exist when you're in an argument.
I think John wants to propose to you. He says, I live in the house, in a very big house in the country. Are you proposing yet, John? I think you're getting close.
I love the country life.
So do I.
Go back there.
I
live
don't,
in the woods, but I can't.
I love the woods. I do not like being in big cities. I like to drive to the city. I don't want to be in the city, and I don't want neighbors. If I could get away with it and have 50 acres and a moat around it with sharks to keep people.
Yeah, see, remember? Oh yeah, that was one thing we both wanted. We both wanted moats, but I wanted mine to be filled with a tar pit so that way it could catch on fire. And then
we could add that too. I didn't think about that part, you know. Sean says, outdoorsy women willing to go camping and hiking are good catch. Damn straight we are good catches.
Yes,
and we love that. I love
camping.
Nature.
I
love animals and nature, and I love men. Just I don't love men who treat me like shit, okay? That's the only problem.
There is a difference though. Like men, I like how some men, like I know men now that say they love to go camping, but it's really glamping. I go camping. Like we tent it and everything out in there, and like they don't do that.
That's cool. I don't know if my shoulder can handle laying on the floor anymore, though. I have to be. I
don't do the floor. I do bring a blow up. It's smart, but like we still like my dad has like the pop up tents onto his truck or whatever. I will have a regular tent with a blow up mattress in it, so Dexter and I are not sleeping on the floor. But I mean, like I'm not in an RV. People think camping is just using an RV. Now that is nice and convenient and toasty, but I grew up with that my whole life. Is like we did it outside.
Do you know I bought my dad $100,000 RV with 3 pop outs?
God, you're bougie.
Dude, well, I thought he wanted to go travel. You know, it wasn't for me. I bought it for my dad.
Yeah, you got to buy him the most expensive, biggest thing on the lot, damn you.
I was an idiot. I was so young and I was so dumb. It was so easy.
You're sweet. That's what it is.
God, I got pictures of the thing. And you know what the funny thing is? It had this on the front of the RV. This was my dad's cup. And it had this on the front of the RV, Grumpy. And it said Grumpy on the RV. And I bought him this cup to go with it.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yes. And he was a Libra man. You know how Libras are. They're very, you know, like go sit away in their cave by themselves, you know? And he would do that. So we would always call him Grumpy, you know?
Aww.
He laughed. He loved it though. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Any more questions?
Any more questions? And then do you want to wrap it up, or did we forget anything? I don't know if we forgot anything. I'm not sure.
Hold on, let me get my handy dandy notebook out.
Yes, please do.
It's getting dark. I should probably turn my light on.
Yeah, I had to right here.
I mean, we somewhat touched topics on all things.
We're double checking, boys. Just give us 1 second.
We already talked about that.
We're women who take notes over here, okay?
We are. We take notes. We have study sessions.
I know. He's like, how do you feel about K-pop?
What's that?
It's like the Asian version of pop stars, how we used to do it in, like, you know, the 80s and the 90s.
Oh no, I'm not into Asian stuff, anime, none of that stuff. No.
Eh.
One thing that played into a tie of that people just want life partners. They don't want marriage or anything anymore. Have either of you been with a drug? Yes,
unfortunately.
Yes.
Mine was a functioning alcoholic and I didn't know it. I'd never been around it. I'd been around drug addicts, but I'd never been around an alcoholic before, and I don't really drink at all. So, you know, that kind of blindsided me.
I had 2 that I found out were both addicted to drugs, and both of them beat the shit out of me. They were not functional.
Yeah.
They're not functional.
Yeah. I've had my encounters with that. However,
Yeah.
they learn because I can get scary. I can get scary, boys. You don't want to fuck with me too much. Really, seriously. I got a mean right hook. You have no idea. Bandit panel, if you have a list the top 3 characteristics in a man you're looking for other than looks and money, what would it be? I don't think we mentioned really money.
I don't care about.
Yeah,
I don't care
not
about
really.
That. I just would love for them to be able to provide, so I could just have a part-time job to contribute. I just don't want to have to do the whole. I gotta slave work and take care of the home and everything else too. That's exhausting.
Top 3 characteristics: kindness. Kind for me. Loyalty.
I was gonna say loyal.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the last one? And I'm trying not to be superficial because, sex would be never.
I know.
Sex is like pretty high up there. P. Fletch is laughing at me. P. Fletch and I talk, so he knows. Oh, and to answer the other question about younger guys, the other reason her and I don't want to mess around with younger guys, we don't want to have to teach you how to bang. I don't want to teach you so you can turn around and go to somebody else. Hell's to the no. I'm not gonna raise you so you can go flying out the door to some other broad. No, thank you. And I got some offers recently, and I was like, what the hell? And you know what I'm talking about. I was like, whoa, okay, no thank you.
Yeah, I think mine is definitely loyalty. Let's see.
He's making jokes. Oh, I like a sense of humor. If you don't have a sense of humor, we can't get along, because I say some outlandish crap sometimes. Have you ever caught an ex using a vacuum but not to clean the floor if you catch my drift? No. I don't think there's enough suction on there these days anyways, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Gosh, loyalty and a person who takes pride in himself, because again, for me, that's important, because when they take pride in physically being healthy, helps with that as far as like mutual desirability. I'm working on it. Loyalty is just huge for me, okay? I have not been in one relationship. Out of the relationships that I have been in,
it's been betrayal.
It has been nothing but cheating while I have been loyal.
Betrayal.
And that's why I'm like, is it even possible to find a person that is capable of loyalty the way that I am capable of loyalty? It doesn't make any sense.
We have power over the fuck boys. Yeah, but it doesn't last for long.
No.
It wouldn't last for long. I don't believe that it would. No, thank you. Older women. Do either of you ladies believe that watching porn is cheating? You go first.
Yes.
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 The Word of God even says that if you look at another woman and you desire her, you're already committing adultery in your mind. Okay? Fornication in your mind. So,
and
yes,
if you're being satisfied enough at home and you find your woman sexually desirable, you could just look at her. Initiate that. Ask her to do a striptease or something. Whatever. Why don't you go put on my baggy shirt, honey, and come out here with no panties? Something.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It goes both. I hear that. It goes both ways. Yes. Spittle Buggy. I love you, Spittle. I'm glad you showed up. Loyalty and honesty, compassion and respect. Oh, amen to that. Amen to that. And then please try to make yourself look decent. For the love of God. As we do try to make ourselves, look how great she looks. I'm injured as hell right now. But I'll get back to it.
Yeah. I don't even think I came up with 3. Well, there's loyalty.
I thought, did you say you agreed with kindness? I don't remember if you agreed with kindness.
Loyalty, a person who takes pride in himself. And then gosh. I would say, I don't know if it's like accommodating. Like, I just want somebody that is going to think of me and is like wants to accommodate and do things for me. I don't think that that's kindness. It's just like, I guess, thoughtfulness.
Like yes, thoughtfulness. Yes. But that can kind of play into the whole like respect and kindness thing, because if you're kind, you're not just thinking about yourself. So when I say kindness, that kind of is a blatant point on that, which probably I should use a different word, but I can't think of one right now. Trippy says, darker question, how many times have exes asked you to make prawn with them? Question for both of you. A lot. You?
That's a hard topic, but it's true. My crazy ex, a lot, because he also was an addict to porn, and sleeping around. And he lied to me and actually told me it's because, he was trying to do editing school or whatever the case was.
Yeah.
So he said he wanted to use it to practice his skills. And I was like, okay, but this isn't going anywhere, right? And I actually have proof that mother fudger was actually posting those places.
Yeah.
And so, I did not know that. And there was a lot, and it was actually, I don't like doing it anymore. I really don't, because I don't think I could trust anyone with that. Doing that again. But I mean, I always thought it would be exciting because, let's say like you're with somebody and they travel.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you guys have that, because then that way they have something to watch of you guys, like while they're on their business trip or something, so that way they have something instead of like going without. But it left such a bad taste because it felt like it was such a chore and such a duty. I was told, I want you to wear this, and I want you to do this, and I want you to do that. And it just felt like, what am I on the freaking porn site?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sucked. Like, it was the worst experience. Like, something that's supposed to be exciting for both people is just...
It's work.
It's tainted. Absolutely tainted. I'll do it again.
If I felt safe enough, I would consider it, but as far as the question goes, yes, asked many times, did I do it? No. I would think it'd be kind of cool in a way, though, if you were with them in like lifetime, right? And then you had that when you looked really good. So then when you're older, you can go back and look at it and be like, damn, look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of cool. There was another.
See, I would do it if we were filming it on VHS, because you can't do nothing with those except put it in that. Yeah, so you wouldn't have to worry about that ever getting exposed anywhere.
Yeah, I agree with that. Trippy says, great point, CoCo. I saw, depending on the type of amount of, I saw a question up here. Where did it go? P. Fletch. He wanted to know what you thought about handcuffs. Is that a necessity in the bedroom? Oh, she didn't hear me.
Sorry, it was getting really dark in here.
It's okay. You didn't hear me. P. Fletch was asking how you felt about having handcuffs, or is like an essential in the bedroom, if that's an essential in the bedroom or not. Restraints. I'm okay with restraints, but I'm not the one being restrained.
I've done it. Don't mind it. Again, see, people are supposed to be experimentative with each other. I'm not saying outside of the relationship or bringing other things in, but I mean, there's nothing wrong, and there's something beautiful, like if you trust this person, to incorporate new fun and exciting things into your relationship. Helps with that spark. Something wrong with it. But
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you ever get those guys like I do? They're all the flipping time, CoCo. They're like, they want to be dominated and beat. They want me to dominate them in bed. Do you ever come across that? It's like all the time for me.
So no. I mean, I've had some that wanted me to. And but I was like, this is not how it's supposed to be. But mainly I see men, like, so the men just like look at me and they just want to dominate me, but not in the good way. It's a domineering kind of way. So, yeah.
Well, I get it all the time. They think I'm a dominatrix, which I could be, but I'm not. So he says, what was your absolute most embarrassing public moment with an ex? Question for both of you. Oh, God, there's been so many. I can't even distinguish the most embarrassing one at the moment. Starting fights in public and using personal information in front of strangers, or family members who aren't in the immediate family, so they can come out looking like their shit don't stink and it's all a lie. That would be one for me.
I got too many to count. I don't even have one good example. I have too many to count.
Yeah, see, it's too hard.
I just, what was even more embarrassing is when people would call my ex's behavior out in public, and then some of it is actually they were calling him out on his behavior with them, but also the way that he treated me.
Yeah.
And then I would be the person that would end up having to get that beaten when I got home, even though I'm not the one that said it.
He's a pot stirrer. He's a pot stirrer. Low key, she likes to be dominated. She's a sub. I know a sub when I hear and see one at School of Thought statement. Really? Okay, that might be true. And me, can you tell if I am? He's talking about you, right? Is that you talking about her? Yeah, she's a sub. Okay, am I?
Yeah, I'm totally submissive, and I like to be dominated, but not domineering.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a huge difference between being dominated and trusting them and knowing that they're doing it for pleasure instead of being a sadist.
What the
huge difference.
Trippy, you coming up with some questions going on, and Self, you better answer that. Am I a sub or am I a dom? Because you heard it. She's a sub. I know she's a sub. That's between her and I, though. But me, what am I to you? All right, now, Trippy, has any exes ever attempted to go exploring somewhere on your body that you weren't comfortable with? Well, yeah, of course. Or I had to get broken in because I was a virgin for so damn long. So I need, I'm like, what are we doing? Okay.
I don't know, because I didn't want to feel like I was like restricting my partner and not trying to fill their desires. So I guess, yeah, I mean, the first time I ever used the back door, I was really, really hesitant. So, but, and I never actually really wanted to, but, I did because they wanted to.
See, she's a pleaser. I'm also a pleaser, but if you cross my line too much, you're going to get slapped.
Exactly. That's me, though. You cross that, I'm going to let you know, like, okay, that's no longer a thing because I can't trust you with it.
Pinch your nipple or give you a titty twister. Bandit, he goes, panel, where do you draw the line between giving a potential new boyfriend a chance and things you saw in past relationships that you put on your new potential boyfriend? The abuse makes you leery of the next one coming up. Like, abuse does that. Trauma will make you hesitant. For me,
is he talking about like what we've talked about, where we get punished for their previous experiences from relationships?
I think that's what he's saying. Bandit, can you elaborate?
I know that
please?
Because that is one thing I've experienced, is that they will no longer do certain things that they used to do or act in their current relationship or future relationships because that person did not deserve that and they took advantage of that. I don't let the other, I have been through so much that I'm even surprised. I am thankful that I'm even alive and that I survived what I was put through.
Yeah.
And which is the reason why I left, because a lot of people told me, like, you never know when's the next time you actually might wake up dead from this person, or this person's going to lose it and they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not wrong. I've experienced enough to see that they are possibly capable of trying to kill me.
No, I don't want to peg somebody. That's disgusting. No, thank you. That's gay shit right there. I'll let her answer.
I'm not going to touch that topic.
Okay, all right.
But I don't ever let anything that has happened to me define who I am and allow me to treat the other person differently. So I'm just going to see what they say to me, but then look at their actions. And if your actions are not matching this, or if I see these actions be like, hey, I've seen this before, and you're consistently showing me this, and I know where this is going to go.
Yes, I agree.
But I'm not going to bring that crap into that relationship.
I've also tried to never bring past trash into a relationship. And then if they start doing the same crap, well, then, we got a problem. Sean, women too always want BDSM. They want to be abused and degraded. Which
I don't like to be degraded at all. I like to be dominated, as in like I want to be picked up and thrown around, or like let's say they're doing some like open your legs. I'm like, oh, like I'm just like they're directive. Like they're being direct on what it is that they want and crave from you, and you're like, okay, there's a difference. 0, except English.
I can cuss you out in Spanish and maybe one other language. That's about it.
Same. I know some Spanish words because my dad cusses in Spanish.
Oh, really? Can I pick at the pride in self a little bit? If yes, how much pride in self is too much pride in self? How do you intend to protect yourself from, say, a narcissist health nut in the future? That's a good question.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, because there are, you have to be careful because sometimes that men that are very vain are like into themselves. The same with women when she thinks she's hot crap. Like they have this horrible, nasty mentality. They act like their crap don't stink. Again, it's all about actions. I see how they treat other people. I see how they treat me, and I see how they navigate. It's really what it is.
Have men ever been attracted to a body part of yours that you thought was weird? Elbows, feet, knees, armpits? Yes. Feet?
Feet.
Feet? I'm always like, feet? Okay. Now, don't ask me what I've done with my feet. That's for me to know and for you to find out. Anyways. I'm a talented bitch. That's all I'm going to say to that. Self-made. School of thought. You both are subs in the bedroom. Dominant women in life. Bossy bitches. Bossy bitchy. Not saying you two are, but you're confident women that take charge. In the bedroom, you guys don't want control of men. I would say that's mostly right, but on occasion, I'll toss you around and I'll take it from you if you don't want to give it. Just saying.
Yes, there are times where it's like I will love to just push him up against the wall, or if I'm just like having this fire and desire, I'll be like, take off your pants now, like yes, that type of thing. But yes, in the bedroom, like I want to be tossed around like little rag doll and just enjoying the motions and soaking it all in.
Mm-hmm. It's called play. It's called have fun. A little play is fun every once in a while. Don't take it too serious. My girl tends to call me ugly and cheat on me with my boys like the rest of them. Well, then you need to get a new woman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's horrible. I don't understand why people cheat. Just leave the freaking relationship. What's the point of even being there? If you're not going to be faithful to this person, then just leave. Just leave. There's no need for you to stay. I don't understand people that infuriate me.
I don't understand them either. And I mean, although I will say for myself, in the past, I was threatened so much that I couldn't leave. Like if they weren't going to tell, like the line was used, if I can't have you, no one can. Yep. That was used on me. And then it turned, then they would talk about killing my family and the whole 9 yards. And so that was my introduction into the whole dating, relationships, and the world of sex. So there we go.
I had the whole, no one's going to love you the way that I love you. I was like, I hope to God they don't, because lying and cheating and beating ain't a way to love somebody. And I hope to God nobody ever loves me like that again.
Yeah, it's not. And I don't recommend it for any of you out there. If you are, call a domestic abuse hotline, okay?
Yep.
Trippy. Have either of you ever had the fantasy of installing a sex swing in the home? Yeah, of course.
I've had one.
You do?
I have had one.
Yeah. Oh. Was it a good one?
Yes, it was.
Do you know the name of the brand? I can look at it.
I don't know. It was so many years ago. And the funny thing was my ex-husband and I forgot to take it down. And then we had friends over for a dinner night, and they were downstairs. And then her husband saw it, and he goes, "You guys have a sex swing?" So then he gets in it, and then my husband's like swinging him around. Pictures.
Oh my gosh! Did you videotape that? That would have been the best shit ever. Toasty goes, "You ladies like foreplay. That's what it." Yes, gentlemen, women need foreplay. Did you understand that? If you don't give women foreplay, and it first starts here in the mind, and then it goes to the body. If you don't give women foreplay, it's like the Sahara Desert. Okay, that's just how it is. I mean, a quick one here and there. That's a different situation, right? But on general, yes, we are not like you. We are different than you. So you need to learn what it is that women like and how our bodies work and what makes us tick. Stop assuming that women are like you, because we're not. We're similar in certain ways, but we are not like you. Let's see. John says what? John, are you telling us you like the thrill of not getting caught? The sneaky thrill of not getting caught? Is that a question?
He's talking about cheating?
I don't know. Is he talking about himself? I'm not sure. I think Trippy, he's like, I knew it. I knew she'd have a swing. P. Fletch, for both of you, would you rather strip down for your dude or have your dude unwrap you like I'll do both, honey. It
depends on the situation. So I love like surprising, like let's say for instance, they had a rough day at work. I'd want to be dressed up when they got home, ready with their favorite drink or something. Yeah. And then just have them sit on the couch while I undress myself. And then there are times where it's like you have that just raw, passionate, fiery, like intimacy moment where you guys are getting ready to bump uglies, but then he's just like taking off your clothes and he's admiring every part of your body. You could just like see the admiration as he's taking off your pieces of article of clothing.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
And then it just makes you feel so sexy on the inside.
We're multi-talented. Our gauge is not stuck in one direction, gentlemen. Okay, like we're very accommodating, and lots of things are very fun and very exciting. And we're both dancers. Did you ever get the whole, oh, you're a dancer? Oh, they think you're an exotic dancer. Did you get that all the time? I got it all the time. Oh yeah, it was annoying. Like no, I wasn't a bump and grind artist. No, I'm actually trained. I can do bump and grind.
I had to start changing the way that, when people ask me like, oh, what have you done? Because when I used to say, oh, and I used to dance and I used to teach dance, they'd be like,
yeah,
stripping? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Ballet, tap, jazz, and hip hop.
Yep. I quit ballet. It was getting to be too much. Plus, my mother wouldn't let me go into pointe the way I wanted to. I was really good though.
I bet you were. I had to quit because of pointe. I tore the ligaments in both arches of my feet and I couldn't walk.
Yeah, I know that was the thing. But mine, I was getting so big, even though I was skinnier than hell. And they tape it down. I was just like, forget it, man. So then I started sticking more towards modern and jazz. And then I became mostly hip hop because, I used to go to one of Tina Landon's studios. And so I was going to be another Janet Jackson girl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, whatever. Life changed. So here we go. You both are good looking women. Sure ain't hard to find a good man. No, honey, we've been bitching about it. But thank you, though. We're going to be closing this up here in a few minutes. In modern culture, it's seemingly normal to meet a woman and have her in bed on the first day. How do you all feel about that? I'm not jumping into bed with somebody I just met.
And I've always let them know that
you are. Yeah, same.
I've always told them that. I said, I actually was always been honest. I said, if you're just looking for a good, good time, I was like, they have apps for that, like Tinder and whatever else it is. Like, you can go look there.
Go over there.
I do not sleep with anyone that I am not in a committed relationship with.
Same.
Won't do it. Sorry.
And your STD test first.
Yes, STD test. Well, I told them that too.
Monogamous STD test. There we go.
I actually also have to inspect.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. You and me behind the scene. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Okay. Why are you saying that's not a good idea? What? Not a good idea. Well, if you want a 304, there's plenty out there.
There is. Yeah.
They ain't got no problems, but they might give you one.
Yeah.
A permanent one.
Might catch something that you ain't going to get rid of.
AIDS is on the rise again. Isn't that interesting?
No, thank you. See, that just... And the crazy thing is I have such a high sex drive, but knowing like what I have run into, thankfully, it has kind of made that mellow, but when I was with my last person, the nice guy that has life going on, like I wanted it all the time, and it was crazy how it just came right back. But it's like, because I am a clinically diagnosed nymphomaniac, but I'm not like the one where the psychiatrist that I see is like, wait, do I have to worry about this? Like, do you go out? I was like, no, I don't go out and sleep around. I don't do that. But when I am with someone, I want it like all the time with them, just all the time. I just want us to engage in something.
Same.
And so,
I'm not a clinically diagnosed anything, but yeah, I've been called one.
Yes.
Whatever.
So, but it's nice that I don't, because there are a lot of women, like the first thing that they do is they just go out and sleep with a bunch of guys. I can never do that. And I will never do that. So I just find a way to distract myself so that way I don't have to worry about those urges.
Yes, same. Trippy wants to know, is there a ideal height minimum for men for either of us?
I would like him to be taller than me.
Taller than me is preferred.
Yeah. And I do wear a lot of heels.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not like those women who are like, he has to be 6 feet. No, because the last guy that I dated, he was 5'10". Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with 5'10".
I do particularly like larger men because I pick on them. Okay. I do like to pick on them for fun and they give me more of a challenge.
Yes.
Everything on me is big. So, if you're not big enough, then I feel like I'm dwarfing you. Okay. Let's just be honest. I got a big ass too. It matches at the front and the back. But
well, that is one thing that I like. I do prefer to have the man that I'm with be bigger than me, like stronger or whatever.
Yeah, at least bigger than me.
Yeah, because my ex-husband, he was very he didn't look very masculine. He was like a kid trapped in a man's body. And I didn't like feeling like I was bigger or stronger than him. Like, I want to feel small. I want to feel small. And it's like a protective thing. That's a protective thing.
It is. It's normal for women, but we're not rigid, like there's negotiable, Someone, I won't date him at all unless he looks this way and makes a certain amount of money. It's like, get out of here.
No, because the last two, so my ex-husband and then the crazy, they both had nothing. They were nothing. I actually helped build their empire. There was nothing there. I'm not in it for money.
That's ideal. Ideal is when you're younger, you build your empire together.
Yep. But now I'm at the age where I'm like, I do want them to make sure that they actually have a career because my crazy ex didn't want to do anything that required real work. And it was the most turn off thing I have ever experienced in my life. Never wanted to do any real work. Wanted easy money. Anything that was easy that he didn't have to work for.
Well, my 1928 man told me, he's like, men are supposed to take care of their women and their children, period. End of story. It is what it is. So he goes, how do both of you feel about the red pill mentality of women are supposed to only do what men want in relationship? Wow, you're asking some really good questions there, Trippy. God, what a butthead. You're asking some really good questions.
I'm a human being, not a doormat.
Yeah. We're human beings. We're not doormats.
I'm not meant to just sit here and look pretty and shut up and only be spoken when spoken to.
Yes.
I am respectful. There are a lot of times where I defended my crazy ex in public when people would say things about him, even though I know what they were saying was right. But it was my job as his woman to defend him because he wasn't there to defend himself or whatever. Like, you were supposed to have that kind of respect, even though I know he was a piece of shit.
Well, it makes you look bad if you don't.
Exactly. But that's what we're supposed to do. Like, if your other person isn't there, you're supposed to defend them and their honor or whatever the case is or their character. But I mean, we're not just, where does it say anywhere in the Bible that we're just supposed to sit there and shut up? It doesn't. Even says that women have wisdom, right, Star?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it also says there's neither male nor female, Jew nor Gentile or Greek, or bondage. So bond nor free, Greek nor Gentile, for all are. There's no respect of persons with God. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired and I need to eat something. My brain is starting to flatline. But for me, he says that we are to be equals in the sight of God. And my relationship with God, he's my first husband, which is not taught anymore. Okay. But whatever's being taught in the church today, where I come from, they don't teach that stuff anymore. So you have a whole new doctrine that's out there. And so I want people to understand that it's not normal. And what's happening is more like a Muslim mentality, actually. It's very Muslim.
Yeah, I don't.
And so that's where they're gearing a lot of this stuff from. And so if you want a Muslim type woman, honey, you can go over there and go get yourself one. Okay? That's how I feel about that. Yeah. I am who I am, and I'm a tough broad, you know, and I will back you up to no ends, and I'll love you to no ends, but I'm not going to be complicit and in that manner for you. No, I will not do that, because it's abuse.
It is.
And I don't want my daughters being taught that. I don't want my son being taught that that's okay, because it's a lie. It's not correct. It's not even biblically correct. And you've even got a Proverbs, what was it? Proverbs 23 woman. You know, she's doing business. She's taking care of stuff. She's doing all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So where is that? Where is that alone and all in submission? It's not. She's running stuff. Okay. There's women in the Bible who are running things, but that's another stream. We'll go into that some other time. This guy says, Adam says, I keep telling my daughter there's plenty of bald-headed losers out there. You'll find one. Yes, there's plenty. Yeah, there's lots of fish in the sea. Don't worry. Trippy's saying he's 6'2". P. Fletch is 6'3". Damn, P. Fletch, you're tall, boy. I didn't know you were that tall.
Where are you guys growing from?
I know, shit. Well, P. Fletch, you're what? You're in Kentucky, I think, right? I think he's in Kentucky, and Trippy, he's Michigan. Sean, taller than the girl in heels is kind of a must. Yeah, kind of, but not totally. Like, you know, a short king can work. George wasn't very tall. He'll knock you out in one shot, though, and he did it at church. Did I ever tell you the story? There was a dude who was starting to fight. It was after after a set, which is a meeting in his church, and he came out and he saw this guy yelling at the woman, and he hauled off and he hit her, and he said to him, he's like, if you don't knock that off, I'm going to come right over there and I'm going to show you how it's going to really be. And he walked over and he one shot, man, he was down, and he was over 6 foot tall. George didn't fuck around, dude. That's where I come from. Real people, you know. That's real awesome. People who are hard and tough as nails. Self knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. Let's see. Getting dominated by a small, skinny guy. LOL. Not the most appealing thought, but, you know, negotiable.
It's a little hard to take that seriously.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. We're going to start wrapping this up. Is there any final questions? Trippy's making a comment. Yes, women are supposed to be appreciated, and women, y'all are great at helping us with things, even when you don't think you are. Yes, you're welcome. Also, if men got what we really wanted, that is what you guys would do. But that is why we have a passport. Well, enjoy the passport lifestyle. And I encourage you to hit the beginning of the stream to hear all of the interesting things that we've been talking about. 2 more mature, experienced women talking about real life occurrences and, you know, the ideal situations instead of the it's always greener in another field somewhere else in La La Land. But we encourage you to start the stream over. We got all kinds of people in. We remind you all to like and subscribe. And CoCo will be revamping her channel. Do you want me to plug your old channel, or you want to continue with the new channel?
Let's just wait.
Okay,
I need you to
we're gonna wait for the rest of her new channel
and get some stuff off.
Yes, and you're coming back. We're gonna do this again, right?
Slowly but surely, yes. When I have the time.
Yes. She is very, very busy. She's working full time. You know, it's not always feasible, especially with her competition schedule. So she's early mornings, you know, and to bed very early. She has to stay on it. Let's see. So Toasty, are men still nightmares after hanging out with all of us? No, you guys are delightful. You guys are always delightful. You my clan. What you mean? Laugh with Me says, thank you, ladies. Well, we thank you for being here also. Yeah, we appreciate your company. All right. Oh, last question. Is red pill manosphere gahay trying to get men to simp for men? I would say absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think, CoCo?
I think, like with anything, there is good information and toxic information from manipulation and education, both sides. Manipulation, education, it depends which side they're playing. I do believe that there are some people that genuinely do just want to help men that are going through a hard time, but I do not necessarily think that some of the information that they are giving them is constructive and good for them mentally as far as future relationships, where it's actually self-sabotaging. So I think that there are goods and bads to it, but I do think that it gives them a false sense of
authority and power,
or just I just a false sense of reality, because then it's creating to where people don't even want to be in relationships. And it's not just the men, it's like women don't want real women, like these women that they are telling that these are the types of women you want, aren't wanting these types of men because of their mentality and their way of thinking and the things that they say and they do. Like
it's painting a false reality for both sides, and it's creating dysfunction. That's why I'm here.
Especially this whole that whole stupid thing we're saying a woman would rather share herself with a high quality man than to get with somebody else that isn't. I'm like, that is not true.
No.
For a good Christian woman, that is not true. So who are you really trying to cater to? So then you're basically just telling men to go with hoes, but you're telling these men to stay away from hoes. Yeah, don't lead with your wallet, but you're leading with your wallet.
Which keeps them in a cycle and a loop, and also a loop of dependence, okay? Which is how they keep you in their courses and their books and their donos. I'll pull it up for you. There's actually a clip where they're talking about how they want to get all of the women out of the manosphere space so that way they can get all their pay pigs. So that's when Trippy was saying that's what he was referencing. I just think Andrew Wilson has been one of them also, by the way.
Just don't entertain all of these women, but yet you're bringing all of them onto your channel. You're making them the center of the attention, and you're putting them on a pedestal and making them more famous. So how does that really help your argument?
Yeah, it doesn't very much.
It doesn't.
No, not very much.
It's not giving men any real structure. They're not even teaching men that just because you had a bad person in your life does not mean that every woman is like that, because it's not true.
Yep.
And don't treat every woman after that like a piece of garbage, like she's going to do the exact same thing. Don't self-project that onto her. If that's who she is, that will actually surface, and then you can say goodbye. But if she is showing herself consistently over and over again that she is not that woman, that she is a good woman, then you should treat her this way. But
I agree.
They don't teach that.
No,
they're not teaching any of that.
Nope, they're not. Which we could go through a whole stream talking about that stuff too. We could debunk all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Good. So you let me know.
I'll have they should post my next month's schedule for I think tomorrow, when I work tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll let you know when I have another day off.
Okay. Yeah, I know, right?
Out of the month.
I know, right? Okay. All right. I think she's tired, guys, and she wants to get moving. She might hit the gym too. So, all right, we're going to start wrapping it up. And we want to thank everyone who's joined us here at School of Thought with CoCo and me, the host, NovaStar. Remember to like and to subscribe. More to be coming from this lovely woman, and also her merchandise coming in the near future. So stay tuned, and we thank you all for being here, and have a blessed weekend. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.